We are live. Go team. Very excited for today's stream here because it's getting close to League One playoff times. We battled our way, perfect record through the League Two playoffs. And I would say, by and large, League One has been treating us well. I think that we have proven ourselves more often than not, but it has not always been a clean journey. The last stream we went 3-2, lost the first two games, then won 3 in a row. Some of that was me rushing things that didn't need to be rushed. Got to make sure you have your equipment exactly how you want it, because the game's auto picks are not always what is best for what you're trying to do. And of course, I was experimenting a little bit with Felyn, the new character that came out with the last update, and having spent some more time practicing with her in a slightly less stressful league, all I can say is I can't wait for Felyn Blocker to become the entirety of what I do. It turns out just a really incredible combo, really easy to set up, very difficult for an opponent to deal with, in a way that I think is going to make it very strong for us as we continue through this hell difficulty playthrough. But, oh, that's not the right one. This is the one that I'm doing as my fun league. I am just operating on pure muscle memory. But hey, at least I can show y'all if it works. Look at my solar punk team here. Another great mod by Friend, the same guy who did the Goth Girls mod. So continuing to enjoy his work there. Definitely recommend it to people who want to mix up the style of your characters. FREND. His Goth Girl mod is the one that shows up on most subscribed, so you can get to all the other ones from there. And it's it's been pretty fun. And I mean, obviously, our Goth Girls team, the Sirens Call, continuing to put in work. Alice has been popping off recently. Vesper, which we have renamed Millennia to match one of my close friends' D&D characters. It very much fits this aesthetic. I think the name change has done wonders for her. Shaybomb, of course, the artist who made the VTuber you are looking at right now, has been our bread and butter. I would say probably the member of our team that has done the most as far as getting like MVP awards, things like that. Dani, of course, our team captain and the friend of mine who introduced me to this game, and Rothy, another one based off of a D&D character of a close friend of mine. Just felt like I liked that a little bit more than Trixie. Trixie and Millennia were fine names. They just weren't names that connected to me or my team, and as a result, I'm here. Let's just check out the league real quick so y'all have an idea of where we're at. We are currently third place in the league with a 6-3 record. We've got our games against Arrow of Knee and New Human still to come. I'm not sure who our last team on this list is going to be, but in any case, it is going to be an uphill battle to get one of the top 2 slots. Really, I just want to be in the second to third range, right? I would just rather not play Arrow of Knee until the finals, because I do think they are the best team in this league. And if we could avoid, some Mr. Qs of the world, I'd be totally cool with that. I do wish the game still gave you like a better idea of like who you've been when, let you see like what your picks were in individual matchups. But you can see here, it at least gives us the player stats now. Bond has not worked out for us the way we would hope. Kid has been a mixed bag here. Just essentially, look, we've got stuff that works, and then we've got stuff that's all right. And as long as we stick to the stuff that works, I'm feeling pretty good about our life choices. Just as a refresher for the version that we are playing on, you see those initiate cards last a little bit longer, which means skirmish cards are particularly good at the moment. The gold device effect is also massive. That just means that when you kill something, you get increased farming efficiency. You're more likely to get more gold, which allows you to kill more things. And oh, by the way, when you kill turrets, you get that award boost, and you are able to get more gold and more experience for a character of your choice. Towers are not nearly as crazy as they were for a little bit in this game, so, you know, we certainly have that going for us, but you can see just a lot of, you know, bot lane and then top lane and then bot with jungle and then everybody before a final fight at round 80. It's a good solid pace. So yeah, I feel like this is a good kind of balanced meta. And oh, we are playing Arrow of Knee right now. Okay, cool. I don't know how I feel about the fact that the game thinks there are two better teams than this from a pure statistical perspective. But hey, if we do well with this, quite nice. Would be quite cool. Now, mastery retraining is something I did not know was in the game. I imagine that must have been added recently, given that it would have been all the way in C rank, and we're now just getting it without any icon attached. I'm not mad at it. I like the idea of being able to change what my individual character masteries look like based on the rules of the game itself. I think that's pretty cool. Milestones. What is it we're looking? We're looking for rank. We need just a couple more wins. Just a couple more wins, and we're A rank, and we can start getting some very valuable courses. And hey, we won scrims. Go team. We do love to see that. Let's see if we get any good bonuses here. Some more Tiger Boy experience is always good. Zhangji Key, because why not? Ooh, and Vespers hit a bump in the road. That's okay. Can we win before 60 rounds? Probably? Possibly. I think this is certainly a lot harder. Sure. Let's see if we can get one big win. One clean, big win. Sounds great. Let's see here. I think the best way we can do things, bring that down for Dani. Give her, actually, you know what? Let's do another damaging and team fight. That actually seems like it'd be quite nice. Get a training partner here. All seems pretty good to me. I think you can make an argument for doing like a blocking here instead, but I like the idea of making watching replays good, making it a little stronger. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, so decent stuff. You're seeing that farming skill for Shay way up. That's going to be really helpful towards maintaining gold leads early on. And now let's see, do we have any hero pools we can still expand? Yo, we sure do. Specifically, our jungle needs to be expanded twice. So let's get that done. And I think Gillis is the answer here. Gillis is one of those champs, not necessarily strong in every matchup, but in the matchups in which it's good, quite strong. Just being able to absorb all that turn one pressure, unless the opponent's playing Acidia, it's a pretty safe way to get a strong turn one, let the rest of your backline get what they need to get done. Unfortunately, I am realizing that we are broke at the moment, so Shay, who continues to be our most popular player, is going to stream, and our team captain will stream a bit as well. And look at that critical success. We'll be able to get the new champs next time, no problem. Easy clap. We're going to stick with our Goth Girls. Those subs are never getting played, but they sure do help in just allowing us to put those training courses. You can see the analysts not on our side. That's fair. Look, they are the #1 team. Their top lane is better than ours. Mid lane's equal, which is nice to see. Their bot lane is significantly better than ours, and I don't love to see that. Jungle only slightly better. But we have the hero pool advantage. So if I do my job properly, I get us on a draft we can believe in. Maybe we could limit Sea Soda here. This beast of a man. This art has intimidated me every time I've seen him in the MVP of the week. But it is actually Mulimu here, her harass rate is going to be crazy. I don't actually love that ability just because, you know, for the first 50 rounds, kind of feels like you'd want those stats. But hey, I'm not going to argue with it. Let's get it done. Coach notes ready to go. What do we not want to see? Well, they banned Felyn right away, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to play Felyn blocker because that's been going really well. That tells me we're probably going to do a Niels Peter angle, kind of play to our strengths. We know we like taking Kid. We know we like taking Frank. So both of those seem good for us, which means getting rid of something like Bart, I think, is a fine choice. You can make an argument that Bart's not a problem when we're playing Niels, but we're going to want to give that a shot. Yeah, Shiggy Pig Brain AI band to ruin the stream title. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it do be that way. Hello, Lurk Gaming. Oh my goodness. You know what? I honestly should have changed the title anyway, so I appreciate you reminding me. But yeah, unfortunate. We're going to ban Fatty White. That's a key. I think we can just do that safely. Fatty White, such a pain. Are we winning? We just started, Xander. So yeah, of course. No, we're nailing it. No concerns here. I'm going to get rid of Bart. I just don't want to have to worry about that physical damage being a problem. We win before we win. They banned Zealot, they banned Peter. I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's just because I'm on this hell difficulty or if it is because some of the improvements are coming through, but I am noticing the computer at these higher levels of difficulty are actually banning the things that I play. Those are just 3 champs I would have really liked to have in my game today. So a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. We'll play Blocker and Niels instead. Blocker, pretty good at getting shields down. We can kind of rely on that. What do we not want to see first picked against us then? I'm going to say we get rid of Mickey. I don't want the advantage in some of those long-term team fights. But because they did Aurelio, and because Tentacle Coach is in chat, come on, Justice. Get on over here, Justice. I'm still not sure exactly how good you are compared to other things we could be doing, but I can't say no to you, Xander. So we're going to go for, I guess, yeah, let's get some Niels in there. I think Niels locking that in now, limiting their mid picks, I think is quite good. Yeah, they're going to go for Lady Deadfire. That makes sense. And they go for Ada, which is really annoying more than anything. We're going to go for Blocker. I just want to lock in that bot lane now. What do we want to get rid of off the dome? I don't like... I feel like Tiger Boy's not as much of a problem for us because we have Blocker, but those stuns can be very deadly. I think getting rid of Hakuna is a fine idea. I guess the question is if we're banning Hakuna, it's because we want to play Manto, right? And then we're just saving mid lane for the last counter. That makes sense. Could also ban Lubos. We maybe do both of those things, honestly. I think we just give ourselves the jungle matchup we want because we're happy to go into Kamitachi, happy to go into Zhang Jiki. Would I rather go into Lubos or Burial? Is it actually a very good question. I think I'm going to ban Lubos, and I'm going to pick Manta. And if they want to take Burial into that, that's fine. I honestly don't think Burial's that good here. Yeah, no real shield makers here for Burial, so he's going to be entirely self-reliant on his own shields. It's not something I'm as worried about. As for what we do here, going into Wolfgang, I think there's an argument for Frank. I really like Frank into Wolfgang because he can absorb so much Wolfgang pressure. Certainly does well in that tank lane. I also like Gillis a lot, right? Gillis just absorbs a lot of that first burst of damage in a way that's quite good. I think I'm going to go for Frank because I think we need more of a front line, but I think Gillis could have been very good there as well if we'd had maybe like a kid in the top lane instead of Justice. But we went with Justice, and I'm choosing not to regret that choice. Let's get into it. Also, I think I see a lurking Devin in chat. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's see. For Justice here, what do we want to get rid of? I don't like the giant helmet as much, but the question is there anything I would rather have instead? Garbage bin isn't really what we want from her. Restoring health isn't really the play. Getting max HP is fine, but it's not really. I guess that's fine for her. I don't mind it. Definitely think this is the order of operations for Manta. Definitely feel this is the order of operations for Frank. We really want that that kind of scaling in. Now the garbage bin is interesting. For Niels, this is such a weird. I think we go for Vampire Fangs every time, right? Because it gives him the shield, which is really nice when it procs off. I'm honestly pretty surprised they didn't do that. I think Do is fine as a second item, and I'd rather have the AP plus 100 than I would 120 and a bit of health, but things go wrong very quickly. And yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's do it. Let us get into our first game of the night against the #1 team in the league. To really make a statement here, get ourselves on the right path, make sure that we have guaranteed a good playoff spot. Just 3 games left in the season. Every win truly does matter here. Let's see. I love this opening hand. A lot of tactical adjustments. Always a strong play. Means we're going to be able to draw. We're going to have that mana. Really wish I could get a thinking tank once. It seems like the computer's getting those more often than I would like. It's just tactical adjustment, but better. And they're going to go for a 3v5, which I don't love, especially with the extended rounds, but hopefully Frank can absorb enough of that pressure. We're relying on that 17% presence for Niels to really make sure that he's not getting nuked just like that. Not the start we wanted to see. Wild Willie, welcome to the chat. Can you actually finish a run, or does it loop endlessly? It does loop endlessly. Now, obviously, you can win a championship in the Premier League. That's kind of seen as the end game right now, and that is noted by the game as an accomplishment. But then you go right back to being in the Premier League like you would in any, look at League of Legends esports, for instance, right? Winning the LPL doesn't end your time as an LPL team. You just have to go back and defend your title. There is going to be a world championship at some point. The devs have said that they're working on that. Hopefully we'll see that in game in the next couple months, and that'll probably feel like a more fitting conclusion, having that kind of international tournament angle to it and whatever events and storylines are involved in that. But yeah, there's not like a game over such that would be. Now, I don't like what's happening so far this game. We lost 2 people right away, which is never what you want to see. I do think... Yeah, of course. No, yeah, it's a great question. I only know because I've played... I have an easy league that I kind of started with to learn the game's mechanics, and this is my first run into the higher level of difficulty here. What do we want to do? I think we Wave Assault, and then we Undercurrent. And with 4 rounds, we should have no problem getting this kill onto Aurelio. If it was 3, I would be a little bit worried with Ada, because it could have the concussion grenade in hand. Luckily, it doesn't look like they do. But from here, easy kill. We would have done it in 3 as well. But glad to have had the 4th round in case we'd missed a second time. Let's just get Frank up to full. Let's get a hot hands going. And we'll end here so that way we get to take our next action before they do. Yeah, definitely not the start in bot lane that we wanted. However, these turrets, while they're not as tanky as they were earlier in our run, that is still 31 health, right? Tower's not going down on accident. And that certainly helps a lot. We are going to play the interference onto Niels. Want to make sure that we have the ability to do as much with him as possible. And we're going to even signal detection for exactly that reason. Excuse me. Trident of Radiance. Let's get some damage down in that bot lane. Let's smite. That seems like it could work out well for us. Yummy Biscuit to keep Manta around. Let's hot hands. And I am Justice. That is the thing that I am. So that all just seems very fitting. Will give us a nice little boost of scaling for the long game. Getting some attacks down for Niels to make them feel a little bit less good about whatever's about to happen down here. Which is not to say feeling bad, because I do think this is going to be a 2v4, and I don't think it's going to go well for us. What is the hand size? I believe in our meta right now, Jedi, it's a maximum of 8. It could change based on the version of the game, so it's not a guaranteed thing. But right now, I think it's 8. Yeah, are we going to lose both of our bot laners here? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Blocker lives. Really not good for Niels to die here, but we knew going in their bot lane was going to be the problem. They have a better bot lane than we do statistically. But as you can see, like if you look at the item thresholds, right? Frank very close to getting his first item. Manta currently leading all champions in gold. Niels, while behind, does have that scaling card, and hopefully we'll have more scaling cards sooner rather than later. So hopefully with the turn of Adrenaline, we can start getting some scaling on multiple people in our team, really working our way up to that late game. We are not playing to win this game before 60 rounds, even though I really wish we were, because that is the challenge that I took on to help one of our players grow. But, you know, what are you going to do? Oh, I clicked that a little bit too quickly. We're going to Adrenaline here. More mana is good, actually, because it lets us hot hands. Painful Pleasure just to get some extra stacking here, which is great because it also means we can surprise Assault. This is going to be a 2 versus 1 against Wolfgang, and ideally here this ends in a kill. You might think, Chase, why did you play Painful Pleasure first if you were going to go for this fight? The answer is that Frank's attack goes way up as he takes more damage on. And against someone like Wolfgang that's going to be stealing attack, we care a lot more about the attack damage that Frank can put out than we do about the health. Granted, that got a lot closer than I thought it did, but on the other hand, look how close he was to dying. Had that gone just a little bit better, we would have been feeling great about our life choices. 175 is a real bummer, but it's okay, because I Am Justice gets us to the execute. Justice smites Wolfgang, and that's going to be another kill for us. The kill score goes to 3-2. Still at a deficit, but not nearly as much of one. And right now, everyone has their first item except for the supports. And to be frank with you, I am not as scared of Fake Antiquity when it gets online. I'm just not convinced that card's very good. I understand why it's there. I understand the value of it, but anything that stops giving you your attack power when you're at 50% health, I think is risky, especially against someone like a Niels that's going to be able to hit you on the backline guaranteed. Now, free firing here I don't love. That's a lot of damage on the Niels. They're going to continue to put that pressure down. Ada already with that 100 attack power, you can see very strong at the moment. Niels is built for sustain and for long-term damage in massive team fights. He's not going to win that laning battle. And the fact that we already lost first turret down here, definitely not where we wanted to be. Let's see, Burial's not coming our way, so waiting on Fisticuffs isn't going to do exactly what we want it to do. Though we could get that damage onto Ada. I feel pretty good about that. Let's rethink, see if we can draw into anything better. We could sure draw into something. Let's probe attack here. Ah, we missed. Okay. That's a little bit annoying. I got a little greedy, you could say, playing the probe attack rather than just playing into the undercurrent. But in all reality, you know, we had the dragon fight coming up. I knew I was going to get the burst of points due to our conductor ability. And I didn't know, you know, Wolfgang's one of those weird characters when it comes to 1v fighting because of the ability to attribute steal. So I just didn't feel as good about that. I'd feel a lot better about it if Niels had gotten more poke damage onto the bot lane, but that just isn't how that went down. This is going to be a 2v2 bot lane versus bot lane, and I'll be honest, I don't feel good about that fight for us, given the crazy amount of damage their bot lane can do. So, you know, I'll try it in a Radiant, see if I can get any damage on there, but given that I don't think that I can, let's plan B. Plan B again. Yeah, I think what's about to happen here is we're going to give up this first dragon. The Dragon Bless giving up the crit rate is not ideal, but it's a lot more ideal than giving up a whole bunch of damage, of kill gold to a bot lane that is already doing pretty darn well for itself. I just think with that fake antiquity spike, our time to win that fight has unfortunately already come to a close. But we do some damage on the burial. That's not nothing. Doesn't feel like enough, but it's not nothing. That's okay. We knew at this point in time, like, we weren't building Niels for early game damage. Dew is going to be the first big boost, but he really isn't going to come online until third item. The goal is not to win the game right now. The goal is to not lose the game until Niels gets to do silly Niels things in the late game. But man, oh man, does it not feel good seeing them constantly being poked out of that lane. Surprise Assault, not very helpful at the moment. I can keep Manta up. Might as well Justice Slash here. Just get a couple bits of damage, but you know, we can miss both too. That'd be fine. We are legally allowed to miss both. I just kind of prefer that we wouldn't. I don't know, maybe I prepare for action and hit the tower twice instead. There's an argument for that, but okay. Crit going to burial, that is the thing we were most afraid of, but you know, again, couldn't be helped. This fight, I think the 3v3 with the top lane is much more likely to go the way we want, assuming that Manta doesn't die here, which he very well could. Because this is a 1v1 from Wolfgang. Well, it is a tower dive. Wolfgang, yeah, just keep stealing that armor until there's not much left. Which is very bad, because this Herald fight really relied on that being a 3v3. And that's not the world we live in anymore. Well, I guess what we can do is we can prepare for what's to come, get a couple people bound to Niels for the next fight in bot lane, but we are accepting with that that is going to be a herald over to them, which is going to be a significant amount of attack power being handed over to the person of their choice. Really not the ideal situation, but if you look at the builds, we're doing actually okay. The only champ to have their second item right now is Justice, and we did give Justice a kill earlier, so certainly Justice teamed up with Niels in those late fights is going to work out well for us. It's just a matter of making sure that we're getting to those fights and we're not giving up too much of a lead. 2,200 gold is more than I want to be behind, to be sure, but if you look at it, it's mostly in that bot lane. It's a 1,300 gold lead, I should say, for their support, and about 1,100 for their bot laner. But we're actually ahead in top lane. We're basically even in mid lane, and we are even in jungle. So It's really only one lane that isn't going the way we want, and I don't think that that's enough for me to say that that we're in irredeemable trouble at this moment in time. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You can't stop me. Yeah, we might as well draw that card. Get some smiting down. I mean, ideally, I'd like to play these fisticuffs, but they've actually done a really good job of timing things such that I never got to have multiple people in range. And now I'm going to throw away both fisticuffs cards right before I would be able to use it because of course. Okay, that was not nearly as bad as I feared it would be. Can I get anyone to top lane? No. But I could... Is there a lane in which that helps me? I don't think there is. Does the 1v1 help me? 5 rounds of a 1v1. Does that do enough? I think it might, actually. Yo, 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 Walter, welcome. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. This is the first game of the stream. It hasn't been going well, but now that you're here, maybe that's all I needed. Maybe that's what I've been waiting for all along. Oh, Mike's a little quiet. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'm just not as close to it as I could be. How's that? Does that sound better? I'm seeing it spike on OBS, and so that's always what I'm worried about. But, okay, hey, if it works, it works. Now, get the kill, Manta. Thank you very much. And that's a kill we definitely needed. Feel better about that just because of the Manta passive than I would have the surprise assault fight we were also looking at. We're going to Yummy Biscuit up Niels, make sure he doesn't die. You're a scrub, so I'm not surprised. How dare you? Do we like this 3v3? I kind of think we do. Well, do we though? Ah, man, if Manta wasn't at half health, maybe. I mean, here's the thing. Niels is at full health, and that's very helpful. He also has, what is that, 8 stacks of Dark Flame? So, no, we're giving this up. Blood for the Blood God. Yeah, look, I am willing to take Blood for the Blood God. I'm not willing to give up Blood for the Blood God. At least not for that fight. That would not have been fun. Man. Okay. Well, we do get top turret. That's huge, actually. That pressure in top lane. We now have 1,000 gold lead in that lane. You can see we've cut the lead already in half. You know, Ada, right? Like, she is a danger, and that is going to be the problem here. But as the fight goes on, Niels should have the sustain, and Niels with the AoE damage should be able to whittle down the opponent in a way that I really like. Especially because it looks like Frank, while not being ahead by any means... Well, okay. You know, I shouldn't have said anything, because as soon as I did, he played the Chain of War, and now we're going to the Shadow Realm. And he is 100% going to kill Frank here. The computer's done a really good job of setting up those two attacks. Well, Korn got our blood, so I guess I hope it was worth it for him. Let's see. Justice Slash. I'm going to pass a turn, because that way I can justify giving this to our boy Manta. Let's get that down. He's just yeah, he's very Mordekaiser coded. That is for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Ah, okay. Well, we missed there. Not ideal. Bound? Why did Bound expire? Like, he was never in a fight in which that would have mattered. I'm not sure why that expired, and I don't care for it. I do like that we took that tower, though. And now we can get a little bit more health for Manta, which means, well, it's 4v5, and I don't think we do 4v5s. Not while we're still behind in gold. I guess the counter argument is, when is Niels going to be at a better position to take this fight? I don't know. They're both relatively low, but... You know what? We're doing it. We're going for it. This could be really dumb. This could be very dumb, but my argument is, Niels has the shield, which means he's going to be able to hit... Well, okay, he doesn't have the shield anymore, so that kind of wipes out that argument. But we can hit everybody. If Justice just gets one execute, it's back to being a 4v4. I was really hoping Niels was going to be able to have that shield in play to not get stunned, but they've actually hit a lot of 13% rolls, which is the counter argument for why you don't do this. Blockers down. Yeah, this is not going to go well. So many hit, like, wow, the amount of times Niels has gotten hit. We got Ada. That was kind of the idea. But it's too late. Too late for that to matter. And we just gave over a bunch of gold we did not need to give up. That was a mistake. Sort of those, you know, I've been saying this entire time, the point is not to win early, it's just to be in a spot where we can win as the game goes later. But that was greed. That was just greed, and now we're potentially in a very dangerous position. Thankfully, they have not taken an inner tower yet. If they did, they could just play the end of the game card and it would basically be over. As it stands, Niels is going to hit full items. They might not hit full items by the time that we are done with this in 5 turns, which would be huge. Like, it is a massive gold deficit that we are under, but at some point, the gold doesn't matter, right? All this superfluous gold onto Burial doesn't do much for them. Mordekaiser has 4 turns to get to that that last item, and if he doesn't get there, it doesn't matter that he has a ton of gold. He went with a very greedy path, and that will be a problem. I'm more worried about the experience. I think that's more likely to become a problem for us. So we're going to try to get Niels caught up there. Undercurrent. I don't actually know if we win that against Mordekaiser. Do we need gold from Manta? No, he's actually all right, but the experience is probably helpful. I'll take that just for some Frank level experience. And we're going to go into the last 5v5. We're going to be at full health, and that is good. Moore did, of course, get to that last item, so everything I said there doesn't really matter. Lady Deadfire did not get to hers, and we are all now at full strength. So I feel like we do still have a chance. This is the fight we've always wanted, have not been able to set up yet. They are acting before us in rounds, so we're kind of forced on the defensive here. But this is exactly what we wanted from Niels. Look at that shield. As long as he's not attacked here, he should be able to attack basically... Well, okay, then he immediately gets nuked. But we'll at least get 2 attacks in a row. He does get the shield, which prevents the stun. So he managed to get it for 2 turns in a row. He'll get a 3rd AoE attack. But man, oh man, Mordekaiser hitting him is massive. This game lives and dies by how well they hit these 8% rolls. And oh boy, are they hitting a lot of them with their damage dealers. We need somebody for Justice to nuke. Justice is down, and that's going to do it. Damn. Damn. Just so much damage on their team. That was just, I think that was the mistake I made in draft, is just giving up a lot more damage than we could deal with. Justice did not do anything for this composition. Haas would have been a lot better just because of the ability to steal shield. I know that sounds like sacrilege, Xander, but you have to admit, seeing how this played out, I might be right on that one. This might not have been a Justice game. But really, I just needed Lady Deadfire was a problem. The answer was Burial and not Lubos. I would have done a lot better if it was Lubos here at the end. Would have made some other things complicated, but the early game didn't come down to jungle ganks. It was the fact that they were 3v5ing us, that they were 4v2ing us, just constantly punishing our bot lane there. But yeah, just a lot of damage that they could put out in a short period of time, and we lose our first game of the night. Yep, not surprised that this is a Lady Deadfire support MVP from them. The amount of damage that Lady Deadfire can put out as a support is fucking absurd. I mean, goddamn. Watch, Xander's gonna pop back into chat again just to say, well, look here, like, Justice was still most valuable player on the losing scene, right? But, yeah, I mean, look at that damage, right? Neil's 24,000 damage, third most in the game. Lady Deadfire as a support dealt nearly as much, and that's why it didn't work out for us. You know, obviously that Herald was ill-advised. Shouldn't have gone for the 5v4. Do things work differently if that's the case? Maybe. Certainly, Mordekaiser doesn't get to the last item in that greedy build. And I think that's another thing that I did not properly account for. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, everything in this kind of hell difficulty runs is learning opportunities, right? It's just giving ourselves the chance to grow from this kind of thing, to put ourselves in a position to do better next time. Get some nice gold scaling here. And I do think there was a lot to learn. Especially because I think I entirely take back a couple of my ideas on picks that are good in a Mordekaiser. I think they might have been good because I was at a degree of difficulty in which it was not as much a problem. I don't think he has a disadvantage against Frank. I think it's actually a good counter to Manta. That 1v1 really does a great job of limiting the potential there. That's okay. 0-1, start the stream. Just means we are setting ourselves up for some more, for a nice comeback later. I think I'm going to take out Skillful Roaming for plan B. There are just more often times in which I'd rather have more cards. We did secure our spot in the playoffs. That's good. Enough losses underneath us, I suppose, but we do fall to the 4th seed, which means we would be in Arrow of Knees' side of the bracket. I don't understand how a 5-4 team needs 2 wins when we are a 6-4 team and are confirmed. Feels like that is implying you would only need the 1, but hey, what do I know? I know that none of our people are getting MVP of the game, and CSODA sure is. That really was a problem for us, but at least it's Skull Friendly Day, right? Little octopus boy? Our friend? That seems like a friend. God, I would really like to get these last 2 wins just so we could be getting the next wave of experience bonuses. Would be very nice, but we'll see if we can get there. 1244. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like we would rather have the attributes, right? Right now? Yeah. I'm willing to pay for that. What do we want to train? Wolfgang could be good. Bond hasn't been working for us, but I sure would like it to. Lady Deadfire, definitely. Locker. And let's train up Omaha. That seems good. Do I like these courses? Let's do something like this. I'm actually willing to Maybe do something like, actually, no. I want the farming strategy. Let's train there, and let's do address weakness. Give Rothy a little bit of love. Shaybomb's been getting a lot of stat focus, so I'm happy to put that onto some other people for a second. And now we can do what I wanted to do last time. I think having Gillis as a mid lane, as a jungle option, I should say, would be quite nice. You could also make the argument for Burial. Burial clearly proved his worth in that last game. I wouldn't be mad at it. Especially if we're playing blocker comps, actually. That actually makes a lot of sense. I take it back. Let's get some more training here. Great. Yeah, let's get a good Burial charge. Yep. We definitely want to have that mobility. And you can see we're basically maxing out what we're capable of at this level of play for champion pools. We'll do one more for Vesper next time, probably getting Gillis, so I have that as a flex pick, but this time we're playing UFO, and oh boy, is this not what I wanted to see. We have 1 B+ position. They have 4 A- positions. UFO is just straight better than us. Across the board. There is not a single lane we can play around. Oh boy, I feel concerned. But that's for future us to figure out. Right now, we're back in pick ban. We need to learn from last time around. And I think one of the things I learned, if we're not playing Lady Deadfire, we should ban Lady Deadfire. That's just so much damage that gets put out there. And I think inherently, sometimes I worry more about tanks and that kind of super scaling than I do about some of the other picks. And I think that's a mistake. Let's see. What else do I not want to go up against? I don't want to play Fatty White. And I don't want to play against... Well, Wolfgang's not in mid lane anymore. Let's get rid of Frank. Frank, I think I'd rather have Kid. And I think I actually am going to first pick Kid, right? Kid opens up a lot of options for us. It does really well into a lot of things. It does really, it gives us a lot of opportunities in some other places. They did ban Felyn again, so that's a real shame. But this time we can play Niels and Peter, and that taunt is going to be so huge for us. They go for Palulu, so they go for a little bit less pure damage. I think in this case, we ban both mid laners. It's going to force them to rotate Palulu mid. They haven't shown it yet, right? They're obviously going to show Elemi right now, but they actually do have to play mid because there is no other mid lane pick that is eligible right now for them. Pass is going to be really good. It's going to steal the Palulu shields. As well as some of the other buffs that we're going to see come out, especially for Aurelio. Really nice in that matchup. And then I feel like... I mean, I like Bond. Bond has been a good call with Peter inherently. Manta, I feel like maybe I'd be overreacting by not going for Manta here. No, let's go Bond. I think Bond's mobility is very nice. I think the percent damage is going to be very good here. You can see here a rather squishy team from them. Not a lot of front lining. Aurelio is the closest thing they have to a tank. Kid should be able to kind of feed off of that. And Niels does very well into those kind of low health comps. Let's see. This all, I think, makes sense for Haas. I think that... Yeah, I mean, you could argue whether the crit rate needs to be second or third. I kind of actually think I prefer it third. I know crit rate's helpful, but I think getting the HP up is going to be really nice. We're going to want him to be more of a secondary frontline-y guy. That all makes sense for Bond. This all makes sense for Kid. I do think we were not wrong with this setup. I think it just didn't work out, and I like that for Peter. So okay, I feel better about this game than the last one. Not that I felt bad going into the last one, so maybe that's a dangerous way of thinking. I just feel like we forced them into a mid lane matchup that works really well for us, right? We're never going to be afraid of Polulu doing anything meaningful into Kid, which means we can really focus on other lanes on the map. We've minimized the damage that their mid laner can do. And sometimes that's enough, really. Though not when our bot lane is forced to go back so quickly. We're going to draw some cards, get some more resources. I think some scaling is in order. It's one of those, right? Like, I could go for monkey business, and I think we will. I'm just not convinced this is going to do a ton. Because Polulu does have that shield. But it's a 2-on-1, and it lasts 3 rounds rather than 2 because of the rule set right now. So at least we'll have 2 people trying to take down those shields. Yeah, it's not doing much. We could have forced her back from lane had it gone a little bit differently, but I mean, I'm okay with this. I don't think any of this is bad. I'm not going to worry about drawing cards when we only have 2 energy left, but the red powder, the green bottle. Dylan very much spending gold early in order to give that team a nice early game advantage. I don't like Aurelio getting the red powder. I actually think they should have switched the order there, put the damage onto Burial because Burial is going to be your main damage guy. Put the health onto Aurelio because you need Aurelio to be your front line. But hey, I mean, if it works for them, then I'm the one who's going to look silly about this in a moment. So I should be very careful when speaking in absolutes. Now, what I would really love more than anything is to be able to get a shield impact while my bot lane is actually available. The problem is they have 8 mana, so I can't really trust that that's going to be in play. So I think I go for it. I think this is still good for us. Maybe actually, let me plan B first, see if I draw in anything. Does that change anything for me? I don't think that it does. No, I think I still shield impact here. This is going to give Peter a whole bunch of a shield. He's going to have that taunt. This lasts for 6 rounds, so should allow us to get some nice damage down. Missing a Lemmy is a real shame, but 2 Lemmy shots on Niels is really unlucky. Oh boy. Okay. I'm hoping we can get a kill on the Dylan. No! Oh my god. Oh man, a Lemmy getting the 2 strikes each time really hurt us. Whew. Not good. Not good. Bad, I will say. The last thing you ever want in a game like this is for your attack to end in their kill. I thought with the amount of shielding that Peter would get, I mean, certainly Peter's fine, right? Like, didn't hurt him in the slightest. I think underestimated the likelihood of a Lemmy winning 2 33% rolls, right? That's only 11%. In 6 rounds, 1 in 9 is not that rare. And that is a miscalculation on my part, maybe trying to force some things before I should be forcing things. I do really like that card there. Shadow Imitator, let's get some scaling going. It's definitely going to be Burial we're trying to steal from at the moment. And I think we Hot Hands. And maybe just some Hass health. We need the scaling. We need the scaling. We're not actually behind a ton right now, right? Like, we are capable of coming back from this. Dylan sure is spending a lot of his own gold, but he already has the item, right? So it's not like he is behind substantially right now. He's just a lot less likely to get to item 2 anytime soon, but Dylan doesn't really care if the buffs he's getting his teammates are worth it. And we're seeing that Devil's Hand come in for a Lemmy here. That's going to steal a lot of armor. Going to make her very dangerous given those multiple attack procs that she has. A Lemmy was definitely the right call there. I still think that getting Polulu in was good. But it's tougher now than I want it to be. Now this I actually think could work. Not that way though. I need it to be, I think, a Monkey Do. I guess Surprise Assault actually. I'd rather have the guarantee. This is going to be 4 rounds rather than 3. And the key here, right, is that Haas is going to steal the shield. If he hits, which apparently none of our people can. So none of it even matters. He's also attacking last, which I don't exactly know how that works. But the idea, I thought, was that he was going to steal the shield first. And then everyone would have some free hits on there. But not the way they played it. So let's rethink, see if we can get into anything good. Nope, absolutely not. It is all going wrong very quickly. They get the rapid shooting first tower. Okay. Now this is actually really good for us. Because if we can kill... apply the bounty here actually to Dylan. Get a hot hands going. We need 1 kill. We should be able to kill Dylan before it matters. And yes, they recognize that. We get the dragon. That's big. That's not going to solve all of our problems. We're still down a substantial amount of gold, but it does solve some of our problems. The rest of our problems are going to have to be solved through this top lane. But the good news is with the Shadow Initiator, we've actually stolen enough stats. We're not very behind Aurelio. It looks like we're behind Aurelio, and Aurelio is going to get to a second item well before we do, but the gold doesn't really reflect, right? Like, we're doing more attack power. We have more armor. Obviously, Aurelio's kit is going to involve that crit rate, which is the idea here, but we can steal the buff. So Haas is actually doing very well in that matchup, all things considered. I'm going to give the crit to Neil. Some AoE crit would be really, really helpful. Do we Surprise Assault here? No. 2v2 like that doesn't really do much for us. Smite seems good. Shadow Initiator. Yeah, let's keep stealing from Burial. That seems like it'll work out for us. And let's pause here so we get to act before they get to act again. Assuming that we don't draw into an Adrenaline. I think that is the right call. Oh, we get this Herald fight. Okay, yeah, we take this. Again, we should be able to steal the shield from Polulu here. Or at the very least, steal the buffs that are going to be coming down onto someone like Aurelio. You can see already this fight's going a lot better. Aurelio is in danger. Burial is going to have that high shield, that high crit rate. I really wish that the Aurelio buff, the flame that she's getting, didn't automatically make Haas attack her. But now we get that. Now he steals all of that shield. Haas is basically unkillable. Kid is going to buff up here. We're going to win this fight. They only have the 1 damage dealer, and Burial can't keep a shield. Even if he does somehow avoid the damage, that's huge, right? The real question is, can Bond survive? And I think he can. And that's Herald. And that's 2 kills for Bond, and that's exactly what we needed. Hell yeah. Okay. Feeling better, feeling better. Let's see, what do we got here? Herald, bless. We're going to keep bumping Niels up. Yummy Biscuit. Do we go for another shield impact? I feel like that would be a mistake, right? Like, that feels like a greed play under the idea that, like, them being at low health here really matters. Do we have actually? Well, actually, I think it does work because now we have the that first item. With the taunt, we should be able to get at least 2 guaranteed back-to-back attacks, and with the buffs we've gotten, I think this works. Yeah, see? He's got the shield. He's going to be attacking every turn, which means... Okay, he lost it there. That's okay. Because Peter should kill one of these, or can kill one of these. Didn't, but that's okay. Niels kills both. Hell yeah. You'll love to see it, folks. That's a double kill for Niels. That is going to get us not only back into this game, but I think that might be the turning point we needed to win this game. Because that means we are almost back to being even in gold. And I don't see how this game gets easier for them anytime soon. But this is why I wanted to force the Polulu mid, right? Because Polulu mid, when we already have Haas down, that second team fight, that Herald fight, is what I had in mind. I do wish Haas worked a little bit earlier in order of operations. And if anyone here in chat knows what the rules are for who attacks when, I would be very down to learn them. But I don't know. Feeling good about this one. Feeling a lot better now that we just got that fight win. It's just a reminder that so much of this game is patience, right? It's waiting for the moment in which your team can actually do the thing that you want to do. Are you ready to kill Aurelio? Because I'm ready to kill Aurelio. This should work very badly for Aurelio. Because we're going to steal all those buffs as long as Haas hits, which... There we go. Look at that crit rate now. Such a strong counter to Aurelio. I am glad they added a new thing to the game where if your enlanement fails for 3 games in a row, I think it is, they'll let you re-roll it, because I'm not sure our team is capable of winning a game before 60 rounds. I'm not sure that's where we're at this point in our lives. Like I said, I just care about winning a game. I just want to be back in it. Niels did not get quite enough to get the stun prevention, unfortunately. This is not going the way I wanted, but we should be able to kill Lemmy anyway. We really need to do that now, though. Yeah. If we could focus our damage the right way, I think we can be okay. Okay. Didn't quite work out, but that's okay. A 1 for 2. Like, obviously, we'd rather have not lost that fight, but I don't feel terrible about it. We're still ahead in gold overall. And the place where we're behind in gold is very much a lane we're actually winning. And you can see here Haas, right? That sledgehammer. That is the power spike that we wanted. That's why we took it when we did. Why we adjusted our item order accordingly. See, Peter now has his med kit, which means we should be able to get a significant amount of healing to help make sure that Niels is in a position to get all those extra shields that he needs. That is it's all coming together. The plan, it's coming together. Surprise assault. Is that even worth it? Yeah. I mean, if it costs 1 mana, it's worth it, right? Like, I'm not expecting to get a kill here, but I could at least hopefully force Polulu out of lane. Nope. Nope. Actually, it is a complete waste of time. Well, Yeah, I missed. Maybe would have been less of a waste of time, but good lesson to learn for one man. I'm okay with that. Hot hands. And let's put a bounty on good old Alemi here. Probably should have played it on the Burial. Probably would have been a little bit more damage. Burial is a little bit more of the problem right now, but Alemi's the one doing all those attacks. Alemi's the one with a double red powder right now, which again, I'm not sure I get it. I feel like I would have put that on Burial, but they didn't, so. They go into the 5v5 and they acknowledge they can't win it. That's huge. Because that means Neil's just got full build. I don't think Aurelio gets there. I think they needed that. I don't know if Haas is going to get there. Maybe Kid can. If we can get a big Kid play here. I'm not sure if we can, but, you know, if we did. Here we go. Let's get some more attack power here. This is a 2-on-1 against Alemi, which is absolutely what we're going to do. Like, there's an argument here to just go for the 2v2 against Aurelio and Burial, but I'd rather take, I think, the guaranteed fight. Yeah. Let's just kill Alemi. I would rather Alemi not get any more gold, especially because, yeah, that's going to basically prevent her from getting the third item. Almost guaranteed. And she never even got through Peter's shield. Easy win there. I won't monkey business. They are going to get one more action before we get into this final fight. And of course, killing Alemi does not really change much as far as the final fight goes. It just means that we get a little bit more kill gold. You know, maybe I should have gone Haas. I mean, I got it for Peter, right? We got the redemption now. So the shield that we'll get, I think, will be very helpful. Probably has more utility than what we could have done. Hey, we got the tower. That means Haas gets the gold. That means this should be an easy, breezy win for all of us here at Siren's Call. Come on. Okay. Just keep doing your thing. Niels has the shield. No stun. Great. Just don't make those 12% rolls. You have no reason to win a 12% roll. Look at that shield. If we could get a kill, Peter can start getting shield for everybody, and I don't have to rely on the fangs for the rest of the fight. You could just see, even when like it doesn't give him the shield, having that health for Niels, we would be in such a worse situation if he didn't have that built-in sustain. There we go. That's a Burial down. We missed Alemi again. It's only a 20%, guys. Come on. Come on, ladies. 20%. Get her. Okay, that's fine. We kill Aurelio. We kill Dylan. I'm just saying, there we go. Easy clap. That's a GG. That's a victory here. We improved to 1-1 on the night. And we have just one more game before we head into playoffs. Playoffs? That's right. Playoffs. Kid MVP. Shaybum continuing to dominate on that character. You know, it's one of those things. Was Kid the reason we won that game? I don't know. It was certainly the cleanest character we had in that game. And Kid is the kind of insurance policy we desperately needed. We certainly needed a front line there. I think you could argue that Haas really won us the objective fight that turned the game around. That comment seems broken. This SSR comment for Niels. Firing on all cylinders. It's like... What's it like? We'll never know. Look at that Niels damage. Like, I understand that Dani didn't win MVP because, you know, 2 deaths is a sacrilegious thing to do in this game. I'm kind of surprised that Vesper didn't at 6-0-3. That seems like it would have been the obvious next choice, but, like, what are you going to do? Just absorbed a lot of pressure. Never let up. This is the kind of gold graph you expect in a hell difficulty run. Didn't go great, and we scaled. But yeah, we desperately need to change this Vesper Enlightenment. That was a mistake. Oh boy, we was that our quest here? Oh no, where's our objectives here? Oh, we got, okay, we just maxed out. Okay, great. Sorry, I thought we were only unlocked the B side there. That would have been much worse than what I feared, than what it actually is. Yeah, I think I'm okay with what we got. Attack power per kill, not for support. Presence, God. There are just some mid laners where you really don't want presence, so I have to pass that up, but boy, do I wish I could have taken it. And yeah, let's just mark down here for the sake of the arc. Oh, we already have it down as a counter. Yeah. Skip. I'm happy with the cards as we got them. Big win here. Big win. And look, we lost to the best team in the league right now in a best of 1. I'm okay with that. I do find it very interesting. Apparently, Three-Headed Dog, even if they win and Lucky Koi loses, any of these teams lose, they can't make it. That's unfortunate for them. I guess tiebreakers get a little bit silly in the back end. But we just need one more win to close out to guarantee our spot on the other half of the Arrow of Need bracket. We're not going to be the number 1 seed, but if we're the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed, I think we're in a really good place. If we start getting to the 4 or 5 slot, I think we get in a dangerous position very quickly. There we go, Vesper. Bond getting some love here. Very funny that, you know, mid lane wins MVP, but they rightfully give Vesper the player of the week for jungle. And we play New Human, Xander's favorite team, when they're not playing against us. We lost Cyberdog despite being ahead in gold and kills. Okay, that's fine. We're not playing this to win the game. Cost is reduced by 1. Does that mean that it, like, that can't be that signal enhancement goes to -1, right? Does that imply that the cost of the interference field goes to 3? Yeah, I think that's a bonus I'm more happy to get behind. Yeah, Dark Flame boost, good stuff. I think this training is fine. Again, Dani in a good spot. Now, I do think I want to get one more champ here, and this is when we'll lock in Gillis. And then we will live stream. We'll see what Gillis is in a second. Look at that. Gillis, an expert. Get that presence in the first round. Great. I don't know how much we'll actually be playing Gillis out of jungle. I just like having the variety. I like having the opportunities. I think this gives us a lot of versatility. And you can see here a lot of, experts and above. Really just burial jungle, the only thing that isn't quite at that level yet. Which ultimately just means we can retrain it if we need to. But look at that, an S- hero pool. We really have focused that. I do believe that in a hell difficulty run, the key is giving yourself as much flexibility in terms of what you can draft as possible. So I do think that is the thing that we have been right to focus on. It does mean that attribute-wise, we have fallen a little bit behind. You're seeing a lot of these A- here in places that you would rather not, you know. We still only have the one B+ player, and that's not ideal. But of course, a coach would think that. Yeah, man, I would think that. I am the coach, and that is the thing that I would think. It seems to be working. We just won that last game against a team that was strictly better than us. Can we win against New Human? The best team in the league according to stats? I mean, there's only one way to find out. Let's get into it. What are we going to ban? They ban Niels. Okay, so they are indeed. Quads. Gillis is a good counter to Felyn? Absolutely. But I would rather play Felyn if I can. I've really enjoyed Felyn Blocker teaming up together. Such a fun wombo combo of characters. But yeah, Gillis is very good under that because with the upgraded presence, you can absorb a lot of that pressure and turn it right back around on her. Very, very dangerous for a Felyn player. Very scary indeed. What do I not want to go up against? I mean, I'm down to play Hass again, so I'm fine letting Aurelio through. I think banning Frank actually went really well for us last time. Frank is just, you know, it's very strong, but it's also just, it's limiting for us if we feel like we have to play it. And what we're seeing is that there are some really good damage dealers that we would rather get rid of, like Lady Deadfire, right? Lady Deadfire doesn't care about your Frank, and it has become a problem. Gillis ban, Kid ban. I kind of want to get rid of Fatty White here. Fatty White's a pain, but we could always play Hass into it. I guess we'll ban Bigfoot. Bigfoot's so obnoxious. You know, there are a lot of people on the Discord. We're just, by the way, we're just doing Blocker Felyn and winning the game. Cool. A lot of people on the Discord for this game who are very critical of the fact that the computer bans Bigfoot a lot. I think in general the reason it does that is because if Frozen Stiff is just reducing attack power and everything needs attack power to be good, then it's kind of viewed as a counter for everything. It might not be as good as some people think it is, but I do think it is genuinely quite strong. You know what else is strong? Hass into Paisai. Just steal those Paisai buffs. Seems like a good thing to do. Let's get rid of Burial. That's been a pain in our behind for a while now. The computer hates tanks, Kentrue. I mean, to a certain extent, I do think that that's kind of true. Specifically, though, because tanks tend to counter a lot of things a little bit, right? Think about Bart. Bart does the reflect damage on anything that is physical damage, right? So if you are going up against a computer that has a lot of physical damage characters, they're like, oh, we have to ban Bart. Bart is strong against everything we play. Now, is Bart the strongest pick out there? No, not even by a little bit. But it is a pick that is strong enough that it can end up being a problem very quickly if you're not careful. And as a result, the computer's just like, I would rather ban it, right? I'd just rather not deal with it, not have it be a problem. We're going to ban Zealot, by the way, because Paisai's down, and Paisai means a lot of actions are going to be taken. Yeah, I actually do like Zhang Jiki here. But yeah, so like tanks, they dislike because of the way that tanks are inherently built in this game. I don't know if it's because they are tanky and specific. It is more that because tanks have utility as the core of their power rather than just pure power being the core of their power, you end up in a very common situation in that regard. Now, this is where it gets a little weird, because I like Zhang Jiki into Omaha, because getting the proc, killing the bird, means she gets the extra attack. I feel good about that choice, but I am looking. I'm not really seeing a frontliner, which means we could go QB to scale. But man, oh man, Anidi is also looking very tempting. Anidi proccing a lot of those free attacks from the field could be quite good. I can see both arguments. QB did not go well for us the last time we played QB. But am I okay with us not having a front line? I don't think I am. I think we have to play QB. I think that's maybe the argument for why we don't ban Frank. Maybe we ban Hakuna instead and take Frank. Oof, I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. This one's a tough one for me. Let's make sure our items are in a good spot. I think that Frank build, Haas build is very good. Zhang Jiki, yeah, that order of operations makes sense. Vampire Fangs, I do think is a good first item for QB, amplifying the life steal that you're already getting from Drain the Life. The Big Vest, yeah, getting tanky items second and third is good. Yeah, getting the damage on Felyn to get those attacks to go well. I think this all works. This all makes sense to me. Now, I still feel good about this comp in the long run because I like Felyn and Blocker a lot, right? Felyn needs to charge up that energy tank, and Blocker ensures that you are going to draw the cards needed to do that. Signal Detection, one of the best cards in the game for that reason. Just being able to guarantee everything that your character that you've paired with needs. Very, very strong. No, I'm a little bit worried about what's happening in mid lane right now. Yeah. This is going to be a tough one for QB. Especially because those initiates are just a little bit longer than they would be otherwise. QB's going to have to bob and weave. QB's going to need to bob, weave, and drain life for days. That didn't give us any life at all, so... that is a dead QB to start this game out. We're going to interference field. I think assault mode is very good at giving us the levels that we need. I also think we do surprise assault here. A 2-on-1 that lasts 5 rounds, really a good shout for us. I'm hoping that we can get enough damage between Zhang Jiki and Haas to get a kill here. But we're not doing a lot of damage. Yeah, this is not doing much. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. We would have been better off transitioning into hot handsing, but... oh well. Just, you know, it was worth trying. I feel like Hakuna just early game is just very, very tanky. And something I need to keep in mind. We do get 2 Felyn stacks early. I think that's really helpful for us. As long as they don't do anything in this bot lane before we get to take a turn, I'm feeling all right. We are down 700 gold, but no items have been purchased yet. So this particular attack isn't the thing we're the most worried about. Maizu really not getting the value because not as close as you would want it to. They are going for the 2v2 fight here because they didn't draw into what they wanted. I am hoping that we can just survive here. Blocker should be providing enough shield to Felyn to keep things going. But we're not getting the hits we need to do much back, which is really annoying. You know, and Paisai does work as an interesting answer to Felyn because it pumps everyone up based on actions, and Felyn sure takes a lot of those. But yeah, I mean, they didn't get a kill, so they spent a lot of energy to not do much there. And sending Omaha back was probably actually the worst thing that they could do. Because what that means is we get to have some fun. Because we're going to Excited State. And then we're going to Excited State. And then we're going to Excited State. And then we're going to Probe Attack. We missed. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Rethink. This is so unnecessary. This is such an overkill of a thing, but I think this is absolutely worth it. Getting the guaranteed kill. Now this is a 3v2. If blocker dies, but we kill both of them, I think it's still worth it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. That's the Pai's Eye kill. Okay, and that ends the fight, so it's actually fine. QB scales. And we've evened it at 1-1. You can see again. Gold's still a little bit in their favor, but it is by an amount that does not matter. There's no meaningful item difference. The only thing that's a shame about how we spent those points there, we probably would have done better actually just doing the surprise assault, which would have lasted enough rounds for us to do what we just did, but it would have been 2 mana cheaper and would have guaranteed us the ability to keep going rather than just ending the fight at 1. A 2 for 1 I think is a little bit better in that case than a 1 for 0, but you know, something also could have gone wrong, and then I'm feeling very dumb, you know? So we're going to get rid of that there, which is great because now we can 2v1 surprise assault. It's going to be 5 rounds going into the Tiger Boy, and I am hoping that we can get a kill. Now, we missed both attacks on turn 1, but now both stuns are down. We're not really getting the lifesteal I expected. QB never feels like it's healing as much as I think it should. And I don't know if that's just I don't understand the character as well as I think I do. But it is annoying. That's hot hands. Get some attacks in there. We're going to continue to push our advantage in bot lane as much as we can. I think forcing Tiger Boy out, giving QB a little bit more room is the right call. We definitely want more of those differentiation cards. We have not gotten the scaling cards we want from QB yet, but we're also not by any means falling behind. And given that QB wants to scale, given that Felyn wants to scale, I feel like the early game's going about as well as we could hope. The real question is whether we have enough of a front line to survive some of the damage that's coming through. And unfortunately with the Mischief, they're about to 2v1 Zhangji Qi. And I don't think our tower is going to fix that problem. No, yeah, we don't even get to the tower attack. New Human gets their second kill of the game. But, again, from an item perspective, we're not far behind. None of this right now is getting in the way of the ultimate plan. We do ultimate charge here. And excited state, which is quite nice. Signal detection, assault mode, excited state again, which is really important because this is a 2v2 battle for Dragon here, and we are going to put ourselves in a good spot for it. I don't think they can take this fight anymore. Yep, they give us the Dragon right away. They kind of have to, and we continue to push that lane. And Felyn is going to be a real pain in the ass for them. There's not a lot that they can do in this particular matchup. The only thing that we can really do, though, is finally get our QB out in line, which is great. And we will get to do that first. So let's do differentiation B, then differentiation A, get the crit rate onto Felyn, assault mode, into transition, into excited state, getting the kill onto Pai's Eye. We can signal enhance into a probe attack. Not because we're going to get the kill there by any means, but because that forces Omaha back to base, which is going to guarantee us first tower in bot lane. Unless Tiger Boy does something very silly and strong, which is not impossible. The freely firing from him definitely throws my maths off, but yeah. We shall see how this goes. I would like to believe. Yes, we got first blood slightly faster than they do. Now this we're going to have to pass up because Haas is too injured. This fight does not go the way we want specifically for that reason. It's not worth it to risk Haas dying. We'll just give them the Herald. That's going to give them an attack boost I don't want them to have, but there's not much I can do about that. Giving them the attack boost and having our person die is not the answer to that problem, right? Okay, they're putting their buffs on a Tiger Boy, which is not really what I expected. I don't think it's a bad move necessarily. It's just not the move I would have expected. We're going to give Haas more. He's at level 12 now. That puts him above everyone not named Tiger Boy in this game. Let's continue this here. Excited State. Excited State again. And that gets a kill onto Omaha. And this is why I think Felyn is really, really good. Get 3 more energy. Keep charging those tanks. We are almost at 10 hold tanks, which would be huge for us. Getting that there. Quite nice. Yummy biscuit. Make sure that Haas remains in this fight. And this should get us this inner tower. Now, we're not going to end the game before round 60, which again, I was very naive to put Vesper in that situation. Oopsie, my bad. I accept my sins and I apologize for them where they belong. But right now, let's just see if we can survive this 7-round fight. Let's see. Both stuns have been put onto Haas already. I don't think this is going to go well for us. I think the numbers advantage and the time advantage is definitely on their side. Tiger Boy sure is doing a lot of damage because of the buffs that have been given to him. I think we might be able to survive without QB going down just based on the attacks that have gone out. If we can survive with one person, I feel good about our life. Yeah, we got lucky there on a miss at the last second there from Kamaitachi. Could have gone a lot worse. Could have gone a lot worse. So yeah, they killed top lane, but you know, we're still ahead in gold in that lane. I think the key thing to note, right, again, looking at these item thresholds, Felyn very close to a 3rd item. No one else on their team is particularly close to it. Haas, if we can get to a 2nd item, I think we can play that end of the game card and do so with a level of confidence. But yeah, we go for this. Yeah, they don't even feel confident taking it because they know if they lose that fight, we just take the Nexus Tower, and that's not worth it for them. Felyn so close. Which, let's just, yeah, pump her up. Enjoy your Dragon Bless. Enjoy your transition. And look at that. You got the stars in her eyes. She's got her last item. This is everything you want. Differentiation A. Differentiation B. QB is getting there stat-wise. I still think, ultimately, the difference here in stats, we're a little bit behind on attack, but the huge amount of health when we get to the final fight, that definitely matters. It does obviously plan on us getting to the final fight rather than ending the game earlier than that, but I certainly don't see the path for them ending the game earlier than that. And I think Felyn, at her strength, with her stacks, she's got 10 free bonus attacks to start the next fight. Seems good. Let's see. We aren't going to get to act before this Herald. I do think we take this fight. Yeah, they're going for it. Okay. I mean, look, blocker is a little bit lower than I'd like, but Felyn certainly has a lot of attacks coming through. Kamaitachi's trying to act as a counter by getting a bunch of his own procs in here. But look at how much damage we've done to Hakuna. Hakuna was at full health going into this fight. Like, sure, we could all argue that Hakuna isn't the person we would like Felyn to have targeted there, but I mean, if you're taking out more than half the health of the tank of the enemy team on turn 1, who cares if you're targeting as an ideal, right? The key here for Haas, right? Paisai is getting a lot of procs because of Felyn taking all those actions. But Haas is stealing them. And that makes it absolutely worth it for us. If he can land his attacks, which, to be fair, has not necessarily been how this has gone so far. We are so close to killing Tiger Boy. We just need to stop missing so many of these attacks. For the record, Walter, if you're still here, this is why I care more about the champ picks. Like, if they're going to miss these kinds of attacks, then I just need to make sure that they're on picks where that doesn't matter. Counter argument, if they were better, maybe they wouldn't be missing. But, you know. Tomato, tomato. There we go. Good stuff by Zhang Jiki. Wow, okay. This is a very close set of team fights. Got the kill. We do end up winning that fight. Not by as much as I'd like, but it is a one fight all the same. The Herald fights in this game do not go to the end, but they don't need to, because we can hit close out the game now. And it's a 2-on-1. Insane, you've been watching the VODs on YouTube. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Glad you're able to watch live. Yeah, it's been fun getting the VODs up there. I hadn't done a lot with YouTube historically. I'm going to try to do more with that moving forward. But I'm glad you've been enjoying the VODs. Glad you're here. You came just in time for us to get our victory here. We are ending our regular season on a win. And it all comes down to Felyn hitting all those shots. The target practice on point. 602 from our team captain, Dani. Dani responsible for 56.6% of our team's damage. The stars in her eyes. God, you love to see it. But yeah, no, absolutely. Look at, I mean, all these comments, they're absolutely right. She killed it in this game. She did everything we needed her to do, and it was the lane we could play around. We were worse at every position by a substantial margin. But as a result of Felyn just popping off, I mean, look at the damage. Just 3,300 damage from Dani. Woo, you love to see that. But yeah, here, Insane, since you're easy indeed, get shiggy with it. Never in doubt. Pay no attention to any of this. Or this drop off here for a second. No, never in doubt. Always had it. But good. Thank goodness we're going to be allowed to re-roll this now, because otherwise I don't think Vesper would ever break through. But yeah, Insane, since you're here, is there anything you'd like to see more of from the YouTube channel in terms of making the VODs a little bit more interesting for you, or feeling like you're able to engage a little bit more with what we're doing here? You know, I am, like I said, I'm relatively new to uploading stuff on YouTube, so I will take any feedback that you have as someone who found this stream from there. 2 attack power when attacks hit from card? I'll take that over 75 flat max HP. Don't need that. Ooh, attack power per kill? Sure, I'll take that over that. Yeah, we don't need to worry about these. They're good. Use them as background noise while you play. Yeah, that's, I think, the Yeah, I think this is definitely, I would say, like, good second monitor content is how I always like to phrase it. That's how I do a lot of the Let's Plays that I enjoy from other people. I'll just have that on there, or I'll do like Dimension 20, their D&D live plays. I'll have that on the screen while I'm playing this game. So I'm, yeah, I think that's a great way to enjoy something like this. And I am glad that you're enjoying it. I know, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. 8% is obviously very nice, but the idea of having the most gold in a league in which everyone's better than me probably seems like a mistake. Yeah, Felyn getting the champion is great. I feel really good about that. I am going to just note you're undefeated going into League 1 finals. Good for you, man. What difficulty are you playing at? I'm going to point out that those are really annoying. I don't know that it's actually a problem, but, you know, it's worth putting down there. You're playing on hard? Nice, nice. Yeah, I definitely think that's a good way to go. I find that it's really, really good to get one playthrough on hard as a test of, like, what works for you, what doesn't, what you like to play, what you don't like to play, and then you do hell after. Exactly. Yeah, just like you said. That's definitely how I've ended up enjoying this game most. And I think that's a very good call. Also very good, we are A rank, baby! Right before the playoffs. That's what we needed, that's what we wanted, that's what we like to see. Getting the extra routine training is going to be huge as we head into playoffs, because as you all know, we get one of those in between every game in our best of fives, and every playoff series is a best of five. Which means I get to do this with the title. Look at that. We're in the League 1 playoffs. 8-4. Fine. Better than last season. Last season we were 7-5. We'd be hanging out down here in the slums waiting to face Arrow of Knee, a team that we just lost to. Glad we don't have to play them until the finals now. Feeling good about that. You love to see it here. We move up for the last game of the season. It does mean we're on the same side of the bracket as Mr. Q, and they are a talented team. But I am very happy to play what will likely be Warrior number 0 as our first round opponent. That's fine. Kid Frank, you learned day 1. Yeah, Kid is one of those... I think Kid was a real turning point for me, because when I was first looking at Kid, I was looking at it from the cards that were being played, right? And Amnesty and Conviction, they're situational. You know, they're not always good. And then I learned how well they work in the Auto Battler and how well those champions are able to execute in the field. And it's like, oh, it's okay if the cards aren't as good as they could be if I am building a composition that takes advantage of one of the most broken passives in a fight that you can get. Kid is very similar. A Kid I always find very funny. The Discord for this game. I see a lot of people questioning Kid. Is Kid actually very good? You know, when you rather play someone that's more aggressive. And in all reality, I think that it turns out that Frank can absorb a lot of pressure early, really turn that around. It's a combo, especially earlier on in the campaign, that's great. And Mo is absolutely broken in the right meta, right? There are some versions of this game in which the reward is like basically everyone's just getting bounty all the time, right? There's like a passive benefit. Every round, people are getting 10 bounty, which means even early on, Mo is able to get significant bounty stacks on a first gank, and the ability to snowball from that point is just obscene. Just absolutely absurd. Yeah, there are equipments. I'm sure there are equipments in your format that make Mo good. There have got to be some equipments that play on the bounty idea. I'm not surprised to hear that at all. Let's see. Can I give... Sure, I'll give Rothy a little bit of offense, too. Mo Charon. Yeah, Charon getting that bounty increase, definitely helpful. Though I will say Charon's a weird one for me. I find Charon to be very useful in metas in which initiations, like initiate cards, are fewer rounds, right? Because it prevents the deaths from coming through. Charon, purely to get the increased bounty on opponents, I find to be less consistent, just because there are usually other things I want to do with that mana. But when you have the mana for it, it's very good. And Finger of Death is just one of the best field cards in terms of damage amplification. Get Charon in there while you have a Lady Deadfire, and you can nuke some people very quickly. But yeah, let's look at our stats here. You can see our longest win streak of the season was 3 games. We had the fastest average, second fastest average round time. Sword and Stone was the fastest, but it's because they lost a whole bunch. So I feel pretty good about that. Our average kills puts us relatively in the center. Not a lot of first blood rates, not a lot of turret first blood rates. That's going to happen when you're worse than your opponent. But you look at total gold and gold differential at round 40, and we're actually first in both, which says a lot about what we were able to do here, given the weaker laners that we had. Deathfire not in your game yet? Oh, okay, so you're still relatively early on then. Yeah, Deathfire changes a lot, because it's your first real magic nuke that you can bring to the table. A lot of comps can really use the Lady Deadfire. Okay, let's see the lineup for this season. No players of ours on the second team. On the third team, I should say. Second team, Alice, Rothy, both earning their spot. And Vesper, Shaybomb, and Dani all first team. We love to see that for our captain. That was the only player in the last season in League 2 that didn't get the accolade of a player of the year. And so to have her get this award right now really shows how much she's grown. Shaybomb obviously has been great. Vesper really stepped up. And Dani, our team captain, named after the wonderful woman who taught me that this game exists, who sent me the link and said, hey, would you be interested in this? And who will actually be able to hang out with this weekend, which is very exciting. Been a while since they've been in LA, so I'm excited to get to catch up with them. Wait, if you're in the League 1 final, Deathfire should be out by now. Because League 1 final, like, I'm hitting the League 1 playoffs, and Deathfire's been out for almost a month. Prison Dude and the Monk, yeah. Are you sure Deathfire's not out? Are you positive Deathfire's not out? Insane. I'm not trying to question you here, but Deathfire comes out earlier than. Cause here, I'll just show you real quick, because I can. It's not random. That's why I'm asking you if you're sure. Because if it was random, it would add a lot more replayability. I do think, are you sure you're in League 1 and not League 2? Because that could do it. That I could see being true. But the unlocks are standard unless you have everything unlocked from the beginning. Random unlocks is something the community's been asking for, and I hope will come. But yeah, I'm not sure, as someone who just got to League 1 finals, how you would be there and not have her unlocked. Yeah, the singer and one other tank. Yeah, that's League 2. League 2 is when those unlock. League 2 playoffs specifically is when Inedi unlocks, if I remember correctly. Yeah, nobody here on any of these stats. Dani, Vesper getting close on kill streak. We'll take it. Vesper here, average gold differential. Dani with average gold differential. And with damage per gold. You love to see that. 211% damage per gold. Beautiful. beautiful. Average MVP score, don't worry about it. Turns out Era of Knee wins more games, and so their scores are higher. Up versus Q in finals. Yeah, that would be one. I just don't know how that's possible. Again, I'm not here to I would love to know how you did that, because I'm almost positive from everything I understand about this game That shouldn't be possible. But hey, if it's not there, it's not there. Maybe it got changed in the update? I feel like people would have brought it up by now, but, you know. I'm by no means a perfect person. I could be wrong on that. Average KDA for Vesper, by the way. Love to see that. Average deaths. Alice doing her part to minimize. We love to see it. You started your file after. I mean, that's fair. My understanding is that what you are describing is something that people have been asking for a while. But yeah, I mean, maybe it was just not something that they talked about in, the new marksman in the starting pool, that they said in the patch, that they said was always going to be there. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But the idea of changing around the order in which things get unlocked, certainly possible. It's possible. I just thought from League One Finals everything would be unlocked, because I'm thinking about to unlock everything. Because there are only 2 champions I haven't unlocked, and I imagine they're about to come out now. But hey, like I said, I could be missing something. I feel like if you go to the Discord and share that with people, they're going to be super hyped, because that's something people have wanted for a while and have not felt like they were able to do. Let's see. Blue rate, win rate, same blue on red. Who needs an advantage? It's fine. We win 2/3 of the time, no matter what side we're on, and that's fine. That's all right. 5.3 KDA. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Yeah, we do love to see second team here. No games on Aurelia, Wolfgang, Wukong, or Frank. Wukong is actually kind of a surprise to me, but Haas has been a monster for us. Kid, very good at top lane, but we've kind of had an up and down experience there. Justice has largely gone well. Mickey has largely not in this meta, so is what it is there. For Vesper here, the Zhangji Key, the game that we just ended our season on, was the one time we played her, so we love to see that 100% win rate. You get 4 a month, double check tomorrow? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Love hearing from people. I would be very curious when you go to the archive what is and is not available for you. Would be very, very interested. But yeah, Hakuna here, 100% win rate. Bond at 50-50. Zealot, more wins than not. Manta at 50-50. Manta definitely a champ that I think I'm wanting to see more of. I want to play more of, because I really like Manta, but Manta feels like a champ that does a lot better when you're really good. And when a hell difficulty run, I've had less consistency making that work. Of course, Shaybomb, 100% win rate with Kid in mid lane, 60% with Frank. Kid mid is really, really good. Just absorbs a lot of pressure, really does well in those team fights, and I think there's a lot to like there. Manta's better in even games. Oh yeah. In a league where you're even, oh my goodness, the amount of pressure that Manta can put on. Even just the 4-mana attack card alone, right, where you get the huge attack buff. So many compositions in which that's very strong. Let's see. Yeah, QB was all right. We won that last QB game, so I'll feel good about that. Lady Deadfire, I'm surprised. I haven't been able to make work, but I think it's just because of what I've been doing. Felyn, that one loss is honestly misguided, because it was the first day that Felyn came out. It was my first time playing her, and I played with Palulu rather than Blocker, and that was a mistake. She's a lot better with Blocker, because Blocker has the ability to draw all of her cards, which allows her to get her stacks a lot more quickly. And there's a reason she is the MVP of the season, because man, oh man, when she pops off, it goes really, really well. I'm honestly surprised Bunushan wasn't something that was played in this particular meta. Kind of feels like it would have been. You win all your games before turn 60? I mean, honestly, in the right meta, that's not particularly surprising. I've just got a meta in which like all of the turrets are very bulky, and so it becomes very difficult to pull that off. But there are plenty of metas where turrets are not as powerful, in which getting to the inner turret and being able to play the end of the game card is a lot more realistic before turn 60. So I'm not surprised by that, but also a very good skill to have, because that is going to teach you when you need to close, when you have the ability to close and take an advantage that you have and really push for it. So definitely good skill to take into whatever meta you run into. Yeah, 100% win rate on Lady Deadfire support. That's not surprising to me. Locker, again, with Felyn, very good. Peter, just constantly very good. Yeah, let's absolutely change this. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we're just going to be involved in kills. 14 feels like a lot, but in a game in which we go in, it's going to go well. Variables, yes. My understanding is this is the an earlier game this dev made, though I haven't experienced into it. Yep, here are the last 2 champs in the game. I'm going to have 100% of characters now. Reinhardt coming in is fine. Reinhardt actually got nerfed pretty hard. I think one of his... I think the armor reduction got nerfed, and so I think he's not as good as he used to be, but he's still very good. Still a good sustain. I like him more in jungle than I do in top lane, so don't be surprised if I end up getting him there. Acidia is so good. I think one of the sneakily underrated characters of this game, because there are so many champions that you want to take out in one round, right? They're playing Gillis, great. You take Acidia and you say, no, Gillis, you don't get a turn 1. And suddenly Gillis's entire shtick out the window. Entirely useless. Acidia is very good against something like Peter, right? Peter's there to block the entire first wave of attacks. You just say, Peter, you don't get to be there for round 1. Guess what? We get to beat up the entirety of your backline for a turn. That turns out to be very good. And that's before you get into synergy with people like Baji, right? Because Alarm Clock, so good from a gold perspective. Oh boy. Yeah, hell difficulty. We don't get to veto anything. You never go with the same comp. Honestly, Insane, great. Good call. What your playthrough right now is when you should try things, figure out what works and what doesn't. Really good at limit testing and figuring out like what compositions really synergize well together. So I think that's definitely a good call. So the hand size is 6. Less than 3 cards in hand. You draw a card every time you play a card. So that's kind of fun. When there's 6 cards in the discard pile, instantly reshuffle. That sucks. That sucks so bad. Because I have multiple adrenalines, and adrenaline being shuffled back in means the odds of me losing that 1 energy is actually quite high. I don't mind the lower hand size. Jedi, this answers your question earlier. Now the hand size has gone from 8 to 6. I don't mind that. I mind the instant reshuffling. It does mean if there's a card I really like, I guess I can get to it a little bit faster, but more often than not, I feel like that's going to be a limiting factor. But what are you going to do? Those initiate cards no longer as long as they used to be. We'll have to adjust accordingly. We still have the Yummy Biscuit. We still have the awards when turrets go down. And turrets are still very tanky, so we should be playing for the late game. Yeah, you do all the work mentally. Look, I will say this. I felt the exact same way as you until I got to Hell difficulty. And at Hell difficulty, I started writing the stuff down. I don't write everything down, but I write enough of it down that I have my cheat sheet. At this difficulty, it matters. At your difficulty, you're Gucci. Do I care? Sure, we can replace... I'm not willing to spend points on a jungler I will never play, but it can't hurt to teach you a thing. Now this I will spend points on. The question is, looking at here, because we're going to want Acidia as well. Which one am I spending the 600 points for? Let's figure that out. So is there anything here that I'm willing to throw away. Everything here is master tier. Or you can import notes, right? Just jack someone's homework. I mean, that's fair too. I'm trying not to do that because I find it fun to put it together, but I also coached a team professionally at one point in my life. Like I was a professional League of Legends coach for a period of time. Not long enough to be something I can really brag about, but certainly long enough for me to find that side of the puzzle really fun. But yeah, I mean, if you're not interested in that, it takes a lot of work. Yeah, just jack someone's homework. That's why that share feature is there. Totally respect it. Would be very curious. I wish I could just see it without doing a full import so I could see whether I agree with everything that's been done. I would be curious to see where I agree and disagree with the general populace. But yeah, I think I just get rid of Burial here is the answer. I like Burial in jungle, but I like Reinhardt in jungle more. And what I really like is not spending 600 points just to get Reinhardt here. Yep, Supersonic. Anytime you get to reduce cost is almost always the right call. Confirm. Yeah, let's go into the negatives for Acidia. Master tier, let's go! God, I love Acidia. Yeah, 10 stacks? Absolutely. We're not playing Alarm Clock if it's not at least 10 stacks, so. Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to head to the restroom real quick, just take a quick break. I will be back in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned, folks. BRB. Okay, we're back. Thank you for your patience there. It just turns out good to stretch the legs every now and then, if nothing else. But we are in playoffs. Playoffs indeed. And you can see Group A, Arrow of Knee, certainly the top contender from a record perspective, 10-2 during the regular season. New Human, as we found, better statistically than Arrow of Knee. New Human also, of course, Xander's favorite team that isn't my team. So, Technical Coach, if you're still here, I'm sure you will agree. We are rooting for New Human to make their way to the finals. That's the team I would like to play. It does not seem like the analysts here agree. UFO getting a lot of love. So, we'll see. Arrow of Knee should have no problem against Lucky Koi. New Human versus UFO should be a lot closer. But we are the favorites on our side of the bracket. And as you may recall, all you need to do is be top 2 to move on to the next league. The Premier League is just within our grasp. It's so close. And we may not be the best player statistically. And I may have spent a lot of training points in a way that will prevent me from taking things on. But man, oh man, it'll be really nice if we can take this. You could look like we're not even the third most popular team, but it doesn't matter. They believe in us. They believe in our adaptability. And Warrior number 0, the team we will be playing in the first round, getting the most nods outside of that. I don't love that, but it is the thing that's true. UFO sucks? Yeah, I mean, certainly there are some limitations for them, but hasn't stopped them yet. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. When you're playing at hard difficulty, I think whenever you're even with anybody, it ends up going pretty well for you, all things considered. Let's get a couple research points in here. One more gotcha. I could stop anytime I want, I swear. But yeah, I want to really think through my my plan here. More fight simulations? Yes. Construe. I would love some more fight simulations. I'd love that kind of importability they have where you can test out other people's teams and see how they all come together. I think that'll be really, really dope. I'm gonna do... Can I do... The problem is I want to prep into something that, like, everyone gets to benefit from. But I don't really want maybe to be the one to benefit because I will never use this player. He's not an emo girl and therefore not there. Gotcha simulator. Yeah, the research. Yeah, it's kind of funny really more than anything. I don't mind it, but I can see why people are less enthused sometimes. But yeah, let's... You never researched? Oh, yeah. I didn't know researching was a thing until distressingly later on in my experience with this game. So you're not the only one, I can assure you of that. But so let's do that. I'm going to training partner here, and then let's prep into this training partner and really highlight everything we can do in this spot. That seems like it could be really good. Actually, I'll do it like that. That seems good. You just have skills that you move around. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, that'll carry you for a while, but I definitely feel like at some point you want to start moving some of this stuff. Let's do it like this because I want careful guidance here, and I don't care if maybe he gets any points. Sure, I guess I can do that. I think that's fine, actually. Research when you're looking to fill a void. That's fair. Let's see. What am I really looking for? Something like that seems good. Training. We're just going to train in all those little lanes. And then let's see. We don't want to actually do any farming courses there for obvious reasons. And we're not going to train here in our last spot. So let's do something like that. Learning summary isn't really good for what we're trying to do here. Do I have enough specializations for that to matter? We really don't. That's unfortunate. Let's see. What can we justify? Not much. Yeah, we don't have a lot of single blocks here for encourage. Sure, I guess I can at least I'll at least learning summary for maybe. Congratulations. You read you get the read book day 2 every playthrough. Yeah, I think some events are like strategically placed. I definitely find that they are things that are timed accordingly, though I tend to find they're less about specific days and more about days after a specific update, right? So like when I got to coach rank B, there are coach rank B events that happen very regularly, but they wouldn't have procced if I didn't have coach rank B, if that makes sense. You sure can. You can have up to 7, and I highly recommend that you do. Not because I'm going to ever use these 2 subs, but because I can use them in order to boost everybody else on my team. I make them basically training partner slaves. I mean, valuable contributors to our team, for sure. Yeah, you have to do it during the regular season. Yeah, exactly. Kenshru, 100% correct. You just feed them a bunch of trading partner things, and they boost everyone else up. Right now, Vesper's doing a lot of that because, you know, Vesper's at a breakthrough point. They can't gain stats anyway, but for everything else. Hey, I taught you something. This whole stream worked out. You love to see it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with this game I think you learn more as you spend more time with it. But that was definitely one. It took me a little bit. The Youth Academy was the other one I didn't realize. So when they ask you to scout after the first part of the player transfer window, that's specifically for youth athlete players who then become people that you can sign a couple years down the line, which I think is super interesting. I'm trying that out for the first time in another league, though in all reality, because I use mods, I'm just not very likely to replace players. So it doesn't really matter, but you know, it kind of matters. You know, a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Let's get the last transfer for FaZe because I don't want to switch. Yeah, that's what I did as well, and that's why I missed that you could have those 6th and 7th players, which is why my league that I started out in still hasn't gotten to like the 500 max stats or the 115 in an individual stat achievements, because I just wasted a lot of extra playthroughs without having those people to do the training partner setup, like Kenshiro pointed out. Youth Academy I still haven't utilized, but it's cool to know I can. Yeah, definitely. I highly recommend that, Insane. Okay, a lot of stat boosts. Here we go. First round, we're against Warrior number 0. We are heavy favorites. Not as much of a favorite as Arrow of Nias versus Lucky Koi, but still. We're going to make this best of 5. This will be what we end our stream on today. We will do these quarterfinals, and then we'll save the semifinals and finals for another day. Not sure if I can make it happen tomorrow. Sunday is definitely a no, but it might be something like a Wednesday or whatever. Actually, for those of you who are in chat now, what day of the week is most interesting for you as far as these streams go? Obviously, right now I've kind of been doing it when I am free to do it, because this is not a job for me. It's just a thing that I like to do, and I'm enjoying doing, and I'm glad that people have connected to it. But, you know, for those of you who are here, if there's a day that is good or bad that I should keep in mind, I'm willing to give you priority on that. And that's true for anyone watching the VODs too. If you're like Insane, you want to join sometime, you've been watching the VOD so far, but you would like to join if you knew when it was happening, let me know in the comments when you would like this to take place. I can try to adjust. You see here, 3 out of the 5 casters. God, it sounds like one of those infomercials, right? 3 out of 5 casters prefer RD Siren's Call. Siren's Call, when you need some goth girls to win your esports league. I had to watch that commercial. I think it's a good one. Let's see. Mid lane, we're slightly behind. Bot lane, we're even. Jungle, slightly behind. Top lane, significantly behind. But look at that hero pool advantage. I'm just saying. Versatility is a beautiful thing. Let's actually take into account these individual player benefits, see if anything of our strategy should change here. Farming efficiency for each round survived, so we'd like to gank top if we can. That's good to keep in mind. Mid. Okay, so there's some mid jungle efficiency here. And every time that the jungle participates in a kill, mid is going to get a whole bunch of points as well. That's good to keep in mind. Oh boy, this mid laner gets advantages against my mid laner if they're doing better in anything. And since they are base better than us, at least that farming efficiency, pressing the advantage is going to be a problem. And if that jungler starts popping off, those problems become multiplied very quickly. Gets max scaling for cards in the discard pile. That's actually really good for us right now because of the rule change we just got. 6 cards in the discard pile gets reshuffled in. You're never going to have more than 6 cards, which means this doesn't really scale well, right? Or does it not reset when the discard pile gets reset? I don't know. I'll be very curious about that one. Oh, Dogfather. Dogfather is a player I love for my original league. Different art, but same name. It's hard for me to beat up on Dogfather. But farming efficiency for everyone on their team until their support dies once. That means we really need to make sure that we are getting the gank onto bot lane where we can. But it also means we have to be very, very careful of their jungler snowballing. We're going to want to prevent anything that can really get a snowball going. We don't have any points, which means we're going to stream for quite a bit, which I always find very funny in the playoff scenarios, right? It's like, hi, I'm Dani, backstage right before the quarterfinals. Hope you guys are going to root for us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you think we're going to win today. It's a very funny mental image. I can't imagine a pro team actually doing that, but I get it, right? Like, they want to give you the ability to adjust in between games and reward you for making playoffs. I wouldn't change it. It's just a very funny mental image. Tails never fails, except when it does. Oh, well. Okay, we take red side. The thing about our team hasn't mattered yet. Hasn't been a problem. Wow, they really like Mr. Warrior number 0 on blue side here, huh? We did beat them in the regular season, so I hope I don't get swept insane, but I guess that's up to my team to prove that we've got this. They banned Felyn. Yeah, I would against this too. I do think the computer's picking up on that. What do I want to get rid of? Well, I really don't want jungler or snowball, so Lubos has to go. That just can't be allowed to exist. I don't like their Mord. I don't like that they're champion level at it. They say red is harder. Well, red's harder because you don't get first pick, right? Which means that if there is a pick that you think is really, really good that you want to build around, you're forced onto the back foot. And yeah, you get counter, but more importantly, in the card game, right? Blue side always goes before red side when energy is even, which means that blue side always gets to take initiative. Blue side is always the one getting to act first, and acting first in a game like this means you just have more options, more versatility. Banning second, I can see why you'd find that valuable, but the pace of the game, I definitely think there is a blue side advantage. Get out of here, fatty. That sounds so bad out of context. Okay. They take Zhangji Qi, which means we're going Frank. And we're going Haas. That kind of forces them on a Hakuna. I'm okay with that. Agree to disagree. I mean, look, you can... I mean, that's fair. I will just say statistically, this has been true in every esport, right? You go look at League of Legends. League of Legends, blue side has about a 53% win rate over red side when taken at a macro sense. Having first pick and having the ability to kind of dictate the game a little bit is statistically has proven to be strong a lot more often than not. I am sure that red side has its value. And I'll tell you right now, when I was coaching that League of Legends team in Istanbul, I picked red side for all our games because I felt the same way you did. There's also a reason I'm not a League of Legends coach right now, because it didn't go well. Oh, what are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick a Lemmy. I'm going to ban Niels because I don't want to deal with that AoE. But I think a Lemmy here paired... They ban Peter, they ban Palulu and Paizai, which is really smart. You were robbed. I mean, literally, yes. Figuratively, also yes. God, what a time to be alive. You're better at counter strategy? I mean, that's fair. Like, the ability to counter, if you know what you're doing, can be quite strong. I don't want to minimize that or take away from how you feel on that point by any means. Insane. You can do some really cool stuff. And I do think getting the first pick on this part, for instance, is very, very strong. What do I want to do? Well, okay. I think what I know, like, the only thing that gang, like, is bad against what we do. I mean, Hakuna is not great for Zealot. That's actually a very fair point. Maybe this is a Gillis angle? I think this is a Gillis angle. Is there anything they play in which Gillis is weak? No. I like Gillis here. Well, last pick support. They go Crank, that's fine. They go Xiaogong Lei, great. Worst bot laner in the game. What do we want? I mean, Blocker allows us to draw our Lemmy cards. I feel good about that. Charon could be very good, actually. Charon would be super interesting. I don't think a city is really necessary for anything they're doing here. Tiger Boy could be solid. Burial with a shield makes it slightly less good, but that's the only shield. They're firing freely. Xiaogong Li can be gross. Yeah, but that's why a Lemmy exists. That's why we get the multiple attacks there. Yeah, I don't know. I find Xiaogong Li very rarely gets the... I mean, I guess if you're talking about the free firing card, yeah, I could see the concern there. We'll go Charon. We'll actually go Charon here. Now that Initiate cards don't have that extra round, I think Charon becomes very good. This is going to protect a Lemmy, and so that's going to help out. You haven't played him? Yeah, there's a reason for that. You look at every tier list that's been made. Go to the Discord. Go to the subreddit. No one is a believer in Xiaogong Lei. For the same reason that people aren't largely a believer in Deep Space, right? Deep Space scales way harder if he's allowed to attack freely than Xiaogong Lei is. It just doesn't matter because there are often very many ways to get to the backline. A Lemmy is a way to get to the backline. It's not the only way, but it is a way, and it should be good here. Let's absolutely redo that build path. That build path sucked. Deep Space is great. Deep Space, with a very specific set of circumstances, is a lot better than it used to be. I would not describe Deep Space as great. If you play Gang, or you play Niels, or you play Hakuna, or any other champion that has AoE anything, Deep Space never stacks up, and it's just not very good. There's just a lot of counters to Deep Space. Not the least of which is just if you ever happen to attack him despite a lower presence, right? Now, in a meta in which, say, the Stealth Dagger is active, right? You buy Stealth Dagger first, and Deep Space gets to reduce their presence by a significant amount. Maybe? I've just been very unconvinced. Unconvinced by that guy there. Let's go AP Sword, actually. I like AP Sword more. I also think this is the order of operations. That's correct. This is correct. Yeah, get out of here, Charon. I also don't like Midas Touch. Midas Touch is one of those, I think it got nerfed because it used to be any damage you dealt. Now it's damage only that character deals. Charon can deal some damage from hand, but not consistently enough for me to be like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm actually going to do that. I think that's better. But yeah, Deep Space is great if you can protect it. Something like Peter. Yeah, he's good in Cafe League. Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely in Cafe League. Because there just aren't that many ways to get onto him. You just ban Niels and you're guaranteed Deep Space is going to do some things. And I will say Deep Space is better than he used to be. I think there was an argument before the balance patch in which he got buffed that he was the worst character in the game. Now I think he's just like, you need a very specific set of characters for your opponent to play. And that can happen. You can get that hand, but you just have to work for Deep Space in a way that not every other character needs you to. Spectral weapon on the Shagangshi. Zhangji Qi, excuse me. God, I know better than that. I used to just call her Pirate Lady. It just felt a lot easier, but then I realized maybe not the not going to be a lot of American stereotypes if I can't learn a basic name like that, am I? We're not going to hunt in Shadow ever. We could surprise Assault, but 3 rounds I don't think is enough to do much. Well, actually, it sure can be if it's a 3v1, can't it? That sure seems like it would be good. Let's see if that's enough. Zhangji Qi not hitting Gillis in round 1 is unfortunate. I think if that happens, which it was more likely than not, we probably get the kill. As it stands, we're going to force her out of lane, deal a lot of damage. So I certainly don't feel bad about that play. I will give Frank a little bit of healing. Yeah, I'm ready to let Haas go back to lane like that. I don't need to play teleport for support. Wait, what? Why is it not shuffling in? Excuse me? What? Hold on. When there are 6 cards in the discard pile, instantly reshuffle into the draw pile. I have 9 cards in the discard pile. What? Does someone who plays this game want to explain to me what's happening here? Because I don't. That doesn't seem right. This also seems like a mistake from them. Like, okay, I have Charon. I'm just going to prevent the death unless you get the kill on turn 1. And look at Zhao Gonglei. Doesn't seem like a lot of free hitting's able to happen here, huh? Yeah, it didn't even need to use Charon passive. Maybe it's not set yet? I mean, it is set. Like, that is the rule that's been put into play. It should be working, but I don't know. Maybe it's like exactly 6, or maybe it's 6 in a turn or something. I do not know why they didn't precision poke Charon. That absolutely I should have died. I 100% should have died there. I also have 8 cards in hand, so there's a lot about this version rule that I don't know is working properly. That's weird. Let's see. Can I get a kill here? Oh my god. That's so annoying. Oh my god, I missed. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay. Let's go in here. Now, here's what I know, right? If it's 3 or fewer, it should draw me a card when I play a card here. It did draw me a card. So I'm going to try to draw anything to do a little bit of poke damage. I'm so close. I'm so close to first blood. I'm so goddamn close to first blood. Haas didn't even do well there, but these are not what I wanted. It's 1 health. It is quite literally 1 health. And I'm not going to get it. Wow. Wow, Xiaogung Lei. Wow, Xiaogung Lei. Getting away with fucking murder. That hurts. That hurts. Might be broken like every league patch. I mean, maybe. But see, now it's working. Now it's remembering the hand limit. I don't know, man. Sometimes this game... I will say this. It's a lot better than some other games I've played in the genre. I feel like it's a huge evolution, huge step up from like a teamfight manager. But yeah, I mean, there's still certainly stuff they're working on. That's for sure. Let's steal some stats. Yeah, let's actually, we're going to tank it up. We need a frontliner. We're just going to steal from Hakuna. That seems good. Like we could just hunt in shadow. Like, would it do enough? 30% bonus? Maybe. Let's heal here. Plan B. Nope. Sure. Is a nut tap left? I hate that. Yeah. Definitely better than a Teamfight Manager. Yeah, I mean, look, Teamfight Manager is fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the multiplayer mode. I enjoyed the customizations that you could do in that mode. But it is not an MOBA experience, right? It's an arena fighter that has characters that use MOBA-like abilities. And if you actually like MOBAs, right? If you actually care about the genre, it just doesn't give you what you need. And that's okay, because it's not, you know... Now we have a game that does. Yes! There we go. Frank with the first blood. The fisticuffs. Look at the stacking. 2,259 max HP bonus at turn 39. That's huge. That's more max HP than multiple characters in this game, just as a bonus. Absolutely what we need. Absolutely what we want to see. And this is where we ask ourselves some valuable questions about what is and is not likely to work. We Death Grasp, right? Surprise Assault is within one space. Surprise Assault is within one space. We can't really deal with much, right? Like, the ideal would be to Death Grasp into a fight card. That would be the thing I would love to do more than anything, but I don't actually think we can. I think what we can do is we can Death Finger here. We can heal. And then we go into this 2v2, and I think we feel good about it. We should win this 2v2. God, had we hit that second fight, the second attack, we just win the fight there. It's okay. We're going to win the fight. It's fine. Charon's going to, like, the worst case scenario is we need Charon to save the fight for us. Like that. But then we win it. Easy. Easy clap. Easy clap. That is Dragon for us. Alemi's already in base, so she already just heals up fully. Like, sure, they get the Spectral Weapon for later, but I don't know what they can do right now that's very impactful. Here's what I know. This is a 3v2. And I feel good about it. It's a 3v2 where one kill ends the fight, and they just spent both their first attacks into Gillis, which means she deals a lot of damage. Just focus Burial, please. Thank you. Thank you. One more time. Oh, you have to hit. Okay. Frank got it. Frank got it. It's fine. It's fine. There we go. There we go. Dragon Bless. Get that crit rate onto a Lemmy. Great stuff. Look at that. We have a gold lead right now. Frank, 2 kills already. That's going to be huge scaling for him. That chicken rib, once we get to the 3rd item, we're going to be in a really good spot. Right now, we're a little bit behind in gold in top lane, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because Haas has stolen those tank stats. So we actually have just as much health as Hakuna does. And we deal more damage than Hakuna does. The only advantage Hakuna really has is that special attack. But that special attack only hits on the first turn. And like, okay, great, you special attack. Well, you pumped Gillis up. Hope you're happy about that. Sure, you did some damage onto, like, Frank. Who cares? I mean, I guess you're getting damage onto a Lemmy, but, like, I don't know. There's just scarier things to me. We're not doing a 4v3, though, with Charon back at base. I think this is a hot hands, Shadow Imitator. Get the better Hakuna skills. And let's just back Gillis. We're not really losing any time by having Gillis come back to base. And yeah, we take this. We take this. Frank has 6,000 health right now out of a possible 10,000 and 722 attack, which is more than anyone else on the board. And sure, his armor is low, but if we focus the right targets, take out Zhang Ji, they're all equal percentage, right, guys? Just don't hit Hakuna. You're hitting Hakuna a lot, and I guess at this point I would rather Hakuna than Burial, but I really feel like, yeah, we could have just done that anytime. You know, it would have been cool. But that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Because we've got the kill here if you just focus the same person and don't miss with every attack. Just don't miss every single attack. Thank you. 2 for 1. Frank gets both kills. Great. That is a, what, 4-0-0 Frank at turn 50? Seems good. Let's see. Breakthrough-wise, Gillis, 3 kills here. We're at least making progress because we're not winning this game or any game by turn 60, I think it's safe to say. We lose first tower. That's unfortunate. Not much we can do about that, I think. Pretty sure you've seen a Mo with more attack. Oh, yeah. I mean, of most snowballs, for sure. But Frank... I mean, here's the thing. Mo doesn't have 12,000 attack at turn 50. 12,000 health, I should say, at turn 55, right? That's the difference. It's not the, the attack is the only thing. It's the everything around it. Alemi gets the bonus. Yeah, Frank's good. I'm surprised by how many people are not Frank fans. I'm in the Frank fam, that's for sure. What do I want to do? I guess, like, with 12 mana, we could Deathfinger here. Is there a value of death that's good? Boo! Yeah, I have no regrets. I regret nothing. I mean, we might as well, right? Like, I don't think we're going to get a kill here, but with Deathfinger, we could certainly do something. Yep, see, they waste all that on Kakuna. Now, Gillis missed. Definitely did more damage to him than he did to us. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just think, like... I think people see the damage that Frank takes and they get scared, but if you play, like, we have 5,000 extra max HP. Oh, we can't fight this. Oh, shit, because we're low. Okay, fine, you get Dragon. I don't feel good about that, but it is what's happening. I'm not going to fight that with a Lemmy at half health and Charon lower. Yeah, exactly, Kentru. You just let Frank get punched. And then you're going into the late game with 5,000 bonus max HP. We still have 18 turns left to keep stacking that, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like people either get scared because they see the amount of damage Frank is taking, or they feel like, oh, I should just win the game before Frank's stacking matters. And like, you know, in an ideal world, sure, I'm not against that overall strategy. But yeah, Frank just doesn't die. And if you're playing on this level of difficulty, wow, I missed the very first attack, huh? Okay, fine. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Yeah. 15,000 health. That's more health than like everyone on the enemy team combined. Not quite, but close. Distressingly close. Yeah, there you go. Increase, there you go. Those who can't kill me got the achievement. Yeah, you can still win by turn 60. Oh, I'm sure. Again, in the right meta. In the right meta, you can win by turn 60 easily. But hey, good to get that achievement, finally. Happy to get an achievement. There's one achievement in this game that is driving me insane, which is the one you get for picking every character. Because I can assure you, I've played every character at least once. But I don't know when the game started measuring that. So I don't know what's missing. And the game won't tell me. And so I am one character away from the play everything once, and it's driving me insane. I have no way of checking. I have no way of fixing this problem, and it breaks my goddamn heart because I know, it's so close. Hopefully someday someone figures out a way to track the behind the scenes. By the way, Xiaogong Lei's dead, in case you're wondering why I just don't think very highly of Xiaogong Lei. Wow, Elemi has been hit a lot for a 12% chance. It luckily has not mattered. But we are, yeah, 2 kills off of 1 Elemi turn seems good. But yeah, I hope this game eventually has like stat tracking so you can see like what character you're missing, because I am convinced I have played every character in this game at least once. I am absolutely convinced of it. I just don't know when it started tracking, and I'm not going to ruin a whole bunch of leagues that I have on the off chance that maybe I pick the one that I've been missing this whole time. You've been playing Vampire Girl and you've been able to a player like twice. Yeah, I mean, it does get banned a lot, so I'm not surprised by that. By the way, we're just gonna 5v1 Hakuna here. I'm sure the computer's really gonna love us doing that. They're gonna think that's cool and good. Yeah. Oh god, this game, this is getting a little sad for the opponent here. And the crazy part is, I've been behind in gold this entire goddamn time. It is 10 kills to 1. But because of this top lane value, right? Because we hadn't reset this, Hakuna has been farming like crazy. Has a 2,500 gold lead that never mattered. It never once was relevant to anything happening in this game. Meanwhile, Frank has so much health that it is breaking the in-game. It's just all black lines trying to segment things. The game is not prepared for him to have 22,000 health, 8,000 of which came from the passive. It's such a perfect time to play it. It's very funny. Objectively, very funny. What do we want to do? Gillis for sure. Her kid and Bard always get banned for you? Yeah, I mean, that's fair. There are definitely some champs I think the computer bans regularly. As you go up in difficulty, I think it's less egregious that things are banned all the time. Like the stuff that's getting banned against me here was stuff like Felyn, right? Which they should ban Felyn against me. I've won every time I've played it. So I think on hell difficulty, it's getting a little better. But yeah, there's a lot. Frank that gets healing per turn. Oh my god. Yeah, in a meta with healing per turn, Frank gets so silly so quickly. They're really lucky there isn't a second champion here for me to make use of that. I'm not going to hunt from the shadow. I could surprise assault. I'm feeling very like Bilbo from Lord of the Rings, right? Well, why shouldn't I surprise assault? Give me a reason why I shouldn't just kill Zhang Ji right now. Well, I mean, I guess because Frank's going to fucking miss. Twice? Twice, Frank? Twice, Frank. Twice? Okay. Okay. You know what, Shay? I love you dearly. I'm sure if the real Shay was here, you would never have missed. I'm not going to hold it against you. But man, oh man, it really feels like the odds of that were astronomically low. Always banning Wolfgang is interesting. I don't disagree with the general sentiment of it, because Wolfgang is very good into champs that want a like 1v1 environment. The ability to guarantee that is quite good. There are just a lot of team fights. If he doesn't get going early, it can be a huge problem. Also, I just want to point out, that's 3,556 bonus attack power from one Gillis attack. That seems good. That seems like a lot of power that Gillis just absorbed in the early turn of this. And it's not like the opponent didn't get damage down. I just don't know when they're going to do 16,000 damage to Frank. I just don't know what that looks like for them. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting close to Burial dying. Crank dying would be very nice. I would like to not get any more Endless Vengeance stacks because it's just annoying more than anything. Thank you, Charon. That's a Burial kill. No one on your team plays him? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, ban something that you can't play if you think that it's good. I just feel like with Wolfgang, there are things you can play into him that you feel all right against. You just say, like, I'm not winning lane against him. I'm just playing for the team fight. And it's okay if that means lane goes a little bit badly. But, yeah, I mean, look, getting rid of him, it'll work out. Well, yeah, Wolfgang's really sad against Wukong, right? Yeah, Wukong just blocks all of that and reflects it, so he gets the steal for his teammates. And suddenly Wolfgang has a really bad time. Ken Shrew, absolutely. Great example. By the way, we won. Like, it's one of those... It feels like it was a long time coming. We were so dominant throughout all of that match, and yet we were behind in gold for a vast majority of it. Yay, good guys indeed. Frank getting them punches in there. 608 from Shaybomb. I can be mad about him missing a couple attacks, but let's be real. Shaybomb put in work. Frank getting the perfect 10.0 score. Truly unstoppable. Started to get scared. Thankfully, I'm not a fan of Warrior number 0. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a fan of them either. Gillis did what needed to be done. I feel fine with that. Haas continues to do work. Rothy did a lot of good work here. Dani proving why she's MVP. Just a great Alemi performance. They got one kill the entire game. Like, that's about as good as it gets. I am very happy with that. But yeah, gold-wise, we only took the lead at the very end there, despite the fact that it was 15-1 in kills. Their ability for their top laner to scale is pretty crazy. But it's good to know, like, did it matter? Was it something we should be scared of? No. Never once. And I'm not going to start now, you know? Armor, max HP. Yeah, let's replace it with a better version of that. No, we're not going to worry about that. Crit rate per kill or armor and max HP. Let's do the better crit rate per kill. That seems good. We can skip these. Average kills like 10. Yeah, I mean, again, in the right meta, I totally see that. It's been a weird set of metas for this league, as you know from watching on YouTube. I'm glad that it's largely worked out here so far. Let's see, for live streaming, Getting Shay some more points seems good. I also, Walter, you gave me the A, good guys, and you mentioned it is like a coach to feel like the answer is always to just improve, picks rather than stats. So you know what? I'm going to pick up some stats. I'm going to help Alice out in this top lane. I think it's about time she got a little bit of love. And I'm definitely not just doing this because I can't learn any new champions without improving the stats. But here, I'm going to go to the restroom real quick. I'll be back in less than a minute, so don't go anywhere. Okay, I am back. Your average kill is like 10, but you're 9th in average kills. What the hell is your meta, man? I have no idea what meta in which both of those things are true. Yeah, if you're winning for Dragon, I mean, there are definitely metas in which I'm winning games, especially on lower levels of difficulty, where it's like, I've had turn 26 wins. I've had turn 24 wins. My closest, I think my lowest is like turn 22. So it's certainly always possible, but like, I don't have my average kill count is not particularly high when that's happening. Well, okay, look, all I'm saying, game, that you're definitely listening to what I have to say. We just won game 1. We beat them in the regular season. Why are 2 out of 3 analysts still picking Warrior number 0 here? I'm just, open your eyes is all I'm saying. I don't think these analysts have really figured out what we're up to, but that's okay. We'll prove them wrong. We're going to keep banning these champion level picks. Just get rid of Wolfgang and Fatty here. They take Kid, they take Lady Deadfire, and they take out Felyn. Yeah, you kind of have to. Turn 65 is first dragon? Okay, so you have a really late dragon then. That's fair. What do I want to get rid of with this last one? Like, Hakuna was really annoying. Stephen A. Smith level dumbass. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, at least one of those analysts has to be just a moron, right? Like, we've spent enough time paying attention to esports analysts to know that they don't all have the same level of knowledge. I could think of a couple off the top of my head that we could put in there, but, it do be that way sometimes. Look at Lubos. I just don't like playing into Lubos. I don't want to give them the free farm. Okay. So they go Palulu. Which means we're going to go Haas. And I think we're going to just go Peter here, actually. I always feel good about Peter in the Palulu. It just means that we're going to have a safe lane here. Palulu Burial is a classic. Obviously, there, I guess I could have picked Burial for bot lane, but I wasn't going to play. Like, I would have had to play blocker. I would have needed to make that my only play. I don't mind Burial Palulu here as long as I have other ways of dealing with it. Which is why I'm going to go with Frank here. And I'm going to ban Hakuna. I really want more than anything for them to play Aurelio here. That's the dream, which is why I'm also going to ban Mickey because I don't want them to have that advantage in the fights. I'm also going to play... I think I play Zealot. Well, no. I take Niels, because that way if they play Zealot, I still feel really good about it. They take Zhao Gonglei again, and they take Aurelio, which means we can play Zealot, and we got exactly what we wanted. And that's why we do it in that order of operations, because by taking Niels, Zealot is a really disadvantageous pick for them, because Niels basically gets to deal triple damage to Zealot, so they go for the Aurelio, which means we can take Zealot safely, and oh boy, does this not look fun for them. Yeah, insane. I would say at lower levels of difficulty, the vast majority of the time, the awards I'm getting are because my kill count is super low. Just really, really low. I would say that's the most common situation I find myself in. I'm gonna do the health pack third? No. Yeah, health pack third. I'd rather have the shield. Yeah, if you're just not dying, then you're gonna get a lot of great MVP scores, because the game really values not dying, unless you get so many kills that it doesn't matter. I had a game earlier on my kind of warm-up account where I had like a 12-4-8 stat line. It was one of the craziest kill games I've ever had. Really wish I could share. I guess I could share a screenshot. Hold on. Let me... Let me get this going, because I think you should be able to see when I do this. You want to guess when Bunu Shan came online for this particular game? You wanna take a shot in the dark? Say when the 12-4-8 Bunu Shan suddenly started doing a lot of damage? Man, what a weird... Who could have seen that coming, except for everybody? Seems like the AI should stop giving you Frank. I don't know. I think they should keep doing it. I think this is going great for them. And say, yeah, it would be right around turn 40, yeah. 40 was when things got bad. I think 45 is when Bunu Shan goes live, and then suddenly it just... None of what happened before matters anymore. But yeah. Let's kill Kamaitachi. They're going to feel real sad about it, but I certainly won't, so... AI never bans Frank. Yeah, well, I mean, again, like, Frank has answers, right? I'm not going to pretend like Frank is some impossible character to deal with. It's just that the answers for him are things that I'm already kind of planning around. I had enough misses here where I couldn't get a kill, but I feel good about how that fight played out regardless. Sure, Smite's fine. I could have teleported for support to secure the kill on Kamaitachi. That was probably greedy of me in hindsight to not have him come down. But just getting pressure out, like, we forced him out of mid lane. Frank is now in a very comfortable position. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, like, the answers to Frank are things like Bond, right? Or Lady Deadfire, you know, things that are just so big on nuke and have the amplification. Charon, very good into Frank. Because you can build those stacks and suddenly it becomes very deadly very quickly. Bond goes burr indeed. That's kind of Bond's big play. It's just burr, burr, burr. You know, I was going to gank Kamaitachi, but then I thought to myself, wouldn't this be more fun? I think a 3v2 bot lane seems way more fun. Yeah, Bond is great. Bond was, for a while, just straight busted. There was a bug that made him do way more damage than he should have been doing. But then they fixed him. And there was a while there where I was like, oh, it's just not as good as it used to be. And then I realized, like, oh, no, it's just, like, reasonable now. Hey! Thank you, Peter. That 66 damage was all it took to take down Zhao Gonglei. And this game just got a lot harder for our opponents over there. But yeah, Bond is great. Bond is really good in any champ in which you can really take advantage of that max HP. And you get his Monkey C to get the guaranteed hit on the lowest damage opponent. And oh boy, can you get some kill secures really, really nicely. Also, Monkey Business, the fact that it's such an early level up to get Monkey Business to cost 0. Like, oh yes, I would like to move 2 spaces for free. Thank you very much. Oh, and I get to draw a card that allows me to instigate a fight? Like, it's not the greatest fight card in the world, but it's a free card, right? Like, man, Bond is very good. Fisticuffs, yeah, come at me. Yeah, sure. Hyper protection. I'm not gonna worry about Plan B right now. The Wheeler Yu-Gi-Oh joke. Interesting. What a Wheeler Yu-Gi-Oh joke are you referring to? Because when I see Bond, I just call him Monkey Yi, because he has the Master Yi goggles, but he's a monkey. But if I'm missing a Joey Wheeler Yu-Gi-Oh joke, I would love to learn what I'm missing, because I do believe in the heart of the cards. And Wheeler is the era of Yu-Gi-Oh! I can actually stand, so. Oh, hey, Fisticuffs. Can I Painful Pleasure here and survive? I'm going to play it on the safe side. Look at that. 2,000 bonus max HP before. Oh, the monkey in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is called Wheeler. Oh, wow. So I was wrong era of Yu-Gi-Oh! In my reference, but I ultimately ended up in the same spot. That's kind of funny. Good to know. I will always appreciate Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, not because I watched it, because I didn't, but because card games on motorcycles. It's just very funny. Just intrinsically, what a funny concept. Or is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX the Jaden season? Am I off by one? It's possible I'm getting that confused. Maybe 5Ds is the card games on motorcycles? I guess what you're realizing is that my Yu-Gi-Oh! Knowledge really tapped out at a certain point in time. I'm off by one. Okay, yeah, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. So it must have been the Duel Academy. Which, to be honest, most of what I know about that I got from the Solid JJ clips. And that one collaboration that Little Karibo did with the other 2 people that do the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series with the movie. That was very fun. Chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard. Yeah. Didn't Jaden, like... Wasn't Jaden the ancestor of someone who committed a genocide? I feel like Solid JJ made a really funny video about that. That completely blew me away because I did not know that about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But I might not be fully... Okay, yes. God. I hate that that's apparently correct. Oh, no. GX got dark. Yeah, apparently. Holy crap. Okay. So we got assimilation here. Yummy biscuit. Like, this is a 2-on-1. I feel like this is worth trying. You should watch it. Maybe. I mean, as second monitor content, I'd be down. I don't watch a lot of TV nowadays just because, you know, for the Rough Drafts podcast, which you can find on all of your favorite podcast networks, it is the RD that sponsors Siren's Call and the logo that we're using here. You know, we do movies and we do video games, right? So I feel like it's hard to have more than 2 media hobbies simultaneously, but I certainly would be, it certainly seems very fun. Is there like a Little Karibo's review? Okay, that I could do. I could do Little Karibo's view onto Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, because I like Little Karibo a lot. Why do I feel like this fight's going to get weird very quickly? Because there's just not a lot of damage coming down from anybody. Like, we're getting the damage amplification on a Peter, which is a problem. But, like, I think we're still winning the race against Xiaogung Lei. It's just taking a while. It's like it is slow rolling. Oh, hey, there we go. Got him. Take that, Xiao Gunglei. Was that 4,000 damage worth it? Did it matter? Huh, it didn't, huh? Weird. Interesting. He's slowly watching every episode because of his health. Yeah. That's good to know. Honestly, Little Karibo is a perfect example of like what I love about content creators. I think there's so much pressure nowadays to just constantly release content because the algorithm requires constant sacrifices. And Little Karibo's like, look, I've got this health stuff, right? I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. But I'm also not going to let that stop me from making content I love. And so, yeah, like I'll do stuff when I'm ready to do stuff. And I hope you're around when I do it. And the answer is yes, I will be around when you do it, Little Karibo, because it's worth it. Yeah, he and MatPat. Yeah, I mean, MatPat. I feel like MatPat was more of just the classic example of like a career can only go on for so long before something needs to change, right? And I say that with positivity. I don't say that as a criticism. I think YouTubers being a career path is relatively new in the broad scheme of things. And I think that it's very easy for people to get burnt out because the idea that playing video game is a job, there are a lot of people that don't want to view it as such, simply don't view it as such. And then like the real world happens and they get tired and they get burnt out because they were not prepared for it to be what it is. And so I have a great deal of respect for people who are like, look, I like creating things. I don't plan on letting my creative energy go to waste. I'm just not going to do things at this pace because there's no fun in that anymore. And I've made enough money where I don't have to. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Insane. I'm glad that he was able to step back. I'm glad the new hosts are doing relatively well. And honestly, it's one of those, like, I don't really care if I end up liking the content as much as I liked some of the stuff that MatPat did over time. I care more about the people who make the things that I love, you know? It's why I think Dropout is so incredible, right? Dropout, of course, being, you know, the artist formerly known as College Humor, who have turned their company into a worker co-op, where everyone who works on multiple episodes actually gets like an ownership stake in the company, and they profit when the company's doing well. And like, as a result, everyone's incentivized to do their best, and when it works out, they all feel rewarded for it, and it's super, like, you know, they make a lot of wholesome stuff as a result. It's just really nice, you know? Like, it's nice to see that you can, like, treat people well and have that be a legitimate business strategy. You like the new host better? I mean, that's fair. Like, I mean, I think it's great that you were enjoying the new hosts for what they are. I mean, that's awesome. I'm just also of the opinion, even if I liked them less, I think overall I'm just supportive of the concept at play, right? Just the idea that, like, you know, people are people more than they are content creators. There will always be content. The algorithm will keep feeding you stuff. There will always be somebody that wants to make a thing that you will want to watch. But maybe people can be people, and maybe that's cool, actually. I don't know. Do I like this 3v3? Yeah, sure, why not? I don't know, it's closer than I want it to be because Niels is already at half health, but if everyone does their job of absorbing that early pressure and we can get Burial down early, I think we'll be in a really good spot. It's just unfortunate because of the Niels at half health. We're not going to get the shield, we're not going to get the stun, but we will get a lot of health back, which is going to be good because we sure do a lot of damage here. Unless we miss, you know, twice. And yet we're still doing fine on health. Let's be real. I will say, I think I'm underestimating the 120 health that it gives sometimes when I'm determining order of operations for item builds, but it sure seems to be doing its part now. You know, Xiaogang Lei. Thank you, Peter. That's what I needed to see. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Remember saying when you were like, man, wouldn't it be funny if we got swept? You know what would be funnier? If we sweep. If we get a full-on sweep here. I think that'd be hilarious. And I think it is unironically quite possible. Let's kill Kamaitachi. I don't think Kamaitachi can survive this one. Frank's got 1,180 damage here. And oh, by the way, still 5,000 health. Like, you just did 1,700 damage and it didn't matter even a little bit. Sure, we'll play another Neil Stalin card. He needs it. This is one of those, again, this is hell difficulty in a nutshell, right? Look at the floor of gold. We weren't even ahead during that period, but it has never felt like we were behind. Oh, hey, Vesper's leveling up. Go team. Good job, Vesper. We finished our breakthrough task. That really helps. Neil's getting that in. That allows us to close out the game card. I think that'll work out well for us. Feeling good about our life choices at the moment. I don't love the 1v3 against Neil's. We all love a good jungler. We sure do, C80s. We sure do. I am actually surprised we don't have like a Sejuani-esque character in this game. It feels like that's an archetype that could be filled. Yeah, it turns out Niels isn't built to win 1v3s. We just kind of had to accept that that was going to happen. But yeah, you look at builds, like Aurelio's a full build. That's unfortunate a little bit, but that's the only one that's at that spot. We're very close to full build with Peter, who's at 401. Peter has 4 kills right now. Support my ass, man. I you know what? I just heard the thing that I said, and we're all just gonna agree that that's we don't need to think about that any harder than I did, which was not nearly enough. Oof. Let's see. Yeah, that seems good. Let's see if we can get a kill onto Aurelio here. Seems like that'll go well. Oh yeah, you crit at 800. We're gonna steal the buffs. Haas just making Aurelio real sad. Yeah, GG. Full heal on the biscuit. It's like I could fisticuffs just to fisticuffs, but like, is it worth it? Yeah, probably. It's any amount of health. Frank's just in such a fun place. Yeah, they're not picking that fight. I wouldn't either. 4,400 extra health for Frank, by the way. Oh my good golly goodness. Traveler's Blessing. I mean, they got some passive buffs going. I'll give them that. Xiaogang Lei, they're really going to try to have Xiaogang Lei be in a good spot. But here's the thing. We're going to give Niels a boost. We're going to give Niels another boost. We're going to give Niels a third boost. Then we're going to try to end the game. Actually, sorry, excuse me. Painful Pressure from Frank. We're going to imitate her. Yeah, that seems good. We're going to reactive armor. And then we're going to close out the game. AI, I'm begging you, ban Frank. They're not going to. And here's the thing. If they did, if they genuinely banned Frank, they'd be letting through something that they really don't want to let through. Like, this is the backup plan, Walter. I can't stress that enough. The main plan involves Felyn being let through, and Felyn's been the third ban for them. So yeah, go ahead and ban Frank. Actually, you know what? Listen to Lord Ciades here. Ban Frank. You should totally ban Frank. That's going to work out really well for you, computer. You should totally do it. Niels with the casual 1600 shield. Going to be able to attack every turn now until the end of time. That's 2600 shield now. With a 7% presence. Like, yeah, this should be over. I don't know how they survive this one. Especially because Niels should be able to kill Palulu right here. Yep, that's no more shield for them. Kamaitachi's down. They should ban Frank versus you, and they don't. And say, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Computer just doesn't ban Frank. I don't. And again, I've gotten in this argument with people on the Discord. I think it's just because, like, Frank isn't seen as a direct counter to anything. It is strong. But if you were to make a list of, like, what champions does Frank counter specifically, I think the computer probably argues that it's like, well, it's strong in itself. It's not a direct counter. But it sure is a problem for the computer in this series, I'll tell you what. It hasn't gone well. If we hadn't gotten the achievement last game, we would have gotten to this one. And look at that, Dani, MVP, once again. Our team captain coming in clutch. Just so happy with how well she has performed in this series and also this season as a whole. There's a reason that she has won MVP, and she is proving it in the biggest stage that League One has to offer as we fight our way towards entering the next stage of competitive play. 28,000 damage, by the way, from Dani here. Like, that's the thing about Frank, right? Frank absorbed a lot of pressure. Only did under 10,000 damage. Like, second least in the game. Everyone on the enemy team, and other than my support and their support, did more damage than Frank. If Frank is the thing they're banning, they're in a lot of trouble. Also take your kid off the board. Well, I mean, I will say this. I don't think you need Frank to play Kid. I would not say that banning Frank would prevent me from playing Kid at all. I think it just comes down to what I would be playing around Kid, right? Like, the goal with Kid would be to play something like Zealot. Because when Zealot dies, that's 3 different stacks for Kid, because each one counts as a separate death. Which it turns out, very good. Not going to worry about those. Not going to worry about this. Here we go. Attack power per level. Yeah. Let's get a better version of that. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. No, we're fine. Niels with the level up. Yeah, we're good. We're Gucci. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to game 3. We're up 2-0. You don't, but I have better top laner if either of them are gone. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Certainly won't argue against that. Vesper needs some stats. I'm realizing Vesper is behind. Yeah, let's get Reflex and maybe... Reflex and Mechanics seems good. And then maybe for Rothy, is there anyone... No, we're not going to get 2 of anything, but... maybe Reflex and Offense? Reflex and Defense. That seems good. Look at that crit success. Double points for Reflex. And here, I am once again going to take just the slightest bit of a break. I will be back in 60 seconds. We are back. Okay. Wukong Tiger Boy. I imagine you mean Wukong as a counter to Tiger Boy, right? Because Wukong reflects the Tiger Boy buff. I wouldn't play them necessarily together. But maybe I'm missing something. Well, we're going into game 3 now, ladies and gentlemen. We are 2-0 up. And a fun fact, in this hell difficulty run, we have had quite a few losses in one-on-one games. But in best of 5 playoff games, we have not dropped a single game. We are perfect when it comes to the playoffs. We take everything we have learned and we put that to the test. We have yet to lose a game. And if we win this game 3, then we will have made our way through yet another series without dropping a game. And that would be pretty great. Wukong with the Tiger Boy buff? But Wukong doesn't have an AoE attack. I feel like Tiger Boy is a lot better with AoE attacks. Also, they just gave us blue side. That's really funny. Okay. I'm not changing my ban strategy. They banned Bigfoot and Haas. So I banned Wukong. I banned Lubos. Okay. Hey, Felyn. Okay. They pick Aurelia with Haas banned, which I understand what they're trying to do, but we just picked Justice and Blocker. But it's also good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. Like, Wukong's just generally quite good. Because he has the global fight card, right? Descent is just one of the best fight cards in the game. And so, yeah, the ability to have that carry it into whatever fight you want, I think that's very fair. I'd rather play it with, say, Omaha, right? Which you can do the same thing, but with the bird. Or you could do it with, like a Hakuna. I don't know. There's just other ways in which I would probably get that same goal accomplished. But I get where you're coming from. Let's see. I would really like to play Kid. Like, my goal would be to play Kid Zealot. So what do I want ban to get rid of that? I want Hakuna gone. And maybe Burial? Yeah, Burial can get out of here. Shukong Lei, Pinang Zhu. Like, I'm not afraid of that. They do take Kid. Okay, that's fine. Because it does mean that I'm going to take Lady Deadfire and Gillis. Well, the computer got what they wanted, Walter, as far as you're concerned. I'm not playing Frank. Because Frank wouldn't be particularly good into what they're doing. I will say I have not picked a comp with a lot of a front line. So if I lose, it's going to be because Kid pops off hard, which is very possible. But the amount of damage I'm able to put off with this comp is insane. Like, Gillis absorbs everything from turn 1. Like, as long as we're able to kill Kid in a decently meaningful fashion, this gets dumb very quickly. I do think Kamaitachi is good into Felyn, so that could be the other problem. But I don't know, I'm just not that concerned. I do think this is going this way. I think this is a there and or actually lifesteal. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a cheaper build on Justice because I think that gets us to where we need to be. That's good. This is a build that is very much predicated on the idea of being played in support, so we're gonna go there. Kid is gonna own you. Insane. No faith. No faith after everything we've been through. Wow. Wow. No faith. Okay. Got it. I understand. Kid is strong. I'm not going to lie to you. Kid is good. And if you want to say that I greeted by not banning him in that second rotation, that's fine. I was very much hoping to draft him. The idea of him slipping to last rotation on blue side was greedy. No doubt. Not gonna argue otherwise on my behalf. But I'm not as worried about this as you are, I think. Kid is just goated? I mean, that's fair enough. I certainly am not going to argue with you about Kid's potential, but... Signal enhancement. Transition. Assault mode. Excited state. And the plan has begun. Yeah, I mean, I just like Zealot into Aurelio. I feel good about that. I mean, I also feel good like Justice into Kid, right? If you can get Justice low enough, you can just nuke Kid down before he has a chance to permascale. That's great. You're not going to have any good fight cards at 3 mana, so you get away with one. Midi always gets ganked. Yeah, I mean, that would be the goal. I certainly hope to gank him. But to be honest, I'm just playing to get Felyn up. My goal is to get Felyn as many stacks as possible. Once she gets those stars in her eyes, she's unstoppable. And I just don't think... I have yet to run into something that is strong enough to deal with Felyn and Blocker when they're on the same page. That's really what it comes down to for me. There you go. Because we're going to Excited State. And then we're going to Excited State. And then it's going to be a 4v3. I'm going to push a lot of damage here, but like... Here, we can deal some damage along the way too. Yeah. Let's 4v3. Both of their bot laners are low. Like, this is, like, for Kid, he's going to potentially get a bunch of buffs. But Xiaogang Lei's dead. Turn 1, Xiaogang Lei's gone. Pinang Zhu, down to 4 health left. Dead. Not really who I wanted Gillis to attack on turn 2, but, like... Okay. Kid got 2 buffs. 279 attacks, a lot in the early game. What's he going to do? Nothing. He's going to get pushed out of lane. He's not quite low enough to back yet, unless the computer's playing very conservatively, but like... Yeah, I mean, he actually might back out of lane. That's really funny. Because Excited State, yeah, go get him. And now, Felyn's at level 4 energy levels at round 26, you know? We have 2 kills. Felyn hasn't quite got the upgrade yet, but Gillis sure has. And Felyn will very soon. Like, don't get me wrong, Kid's good. Kid is very good, but Kid does really well when you have stuff like Zealot, right? The stuff that gets multiple procs simultaneously. I don't know that Kid is very good into what I drafted here, because I have a lot of stuff that can nuke things down and can nuke him down enough for Justice to do Justice things. That's the ideal, at least. Excited State. Excited State. Got Xiaogang Lei from the board. That seems bad. I'm gonna go so far as to say that's not good. Yeah, let's pull you up. So get Enchanting Invasion. We'll do a 3v1 on Kid. Let's see how he likes it. You think Kid's gonna like a 3v1? 5, 6, 7. She's already at 6 energy level. Oh, that's a problem for them. That's discouraging if you're a Mr. Zero fan. Yeah. You can't let my team play Felyn. You just can't. You have to ban it. Like, I understand, like, Frank was a problem, whatever, right? There were other things that were very annoying. You cannot let me play Felyn. You just can't. You just can't. She's at 7 energy. She's about to hit 8 energy level at round 40. You just can't do it. Like, Kid isn't the problem here, but he's not going to solve the problem. Sure, okay. You're going to 2v1 Lady Deadfire. Lady Deadfire is going to die. Fine. They're missing a lot of attacks. I got lucky there. I'm going to be honest. I'll be honest. I sure did a lot of damage because Lady Deadfire, you know, but... I think if they hadn't missed everything, I'd probably die, but... It says a lot that, like, that's the knife's edge they're living on, right? Hey, we're at level 8. I wonder what happens if I play both of these Excited States cards. Just 8 free attacks from both of them? That seems good. Hot Hands. I wish I could Signal Detection. This is the only thing that's a little awkward, is because I play Transition, I can't draw anything. I just don't know that it matters. You sure are Justice. I'll pause here. Yeah, come on, come at me. Come on, 2v2. Aw, what a shame. I can't believe that didn't work out for them. What are the odds? Assault mode. Oh, I should have done the Dragon Bless first, but that's okay. I'll just transition. Yummy Biscuit, I guess, for blocker, because why not? I can't draw anything, so... Who on their team has the highest gold efficiency? It would be Aurelio, right? Yeah, so... I'll charm Aurelio. Give me all your gold. I'm gonna hit 10 energy levels for Felyn by, like, turn 52. That's insane. If I was a Mr. Zero fan, I am going to Reddit already. Don't even have to wait for the game to end. Be like, so what the hell happened, coach? How did Felyn make it through ban phase? I don't know. I'll be interested to see if the devs ever nerf Felyn. I don't know that like Felyn is necessarily like needing a nerf. She just has champs that she's really good with, and you should kind of plan for that. But I'll be curious what their data says. I wouldn't be surprised if like she ends up getting some hit at some point. But I mean, with the right comp, she sure seems to do pretty well. There sure are a lot of ways to make her crazy strong. Yeah, I'll take this. Well, actually, do I take this? Yeah. Sure. They gave up. Wow. Wow. If Lady Deadfire is that low on health and you're not willing to take that fight, that is such a bad sign for you. Like, I thought for sure the computer was going to pick that. I was as close to worried about anything as I have been. Zhao Gonglei is dead. Because it turns out maybe not the right time to be Zhao Gonglei. I don't know when would be a good time to play Zhao Gonglei, to be honest with you. I just don't think that character lives long enough for it to ever matter. But, you know. You can try. We're going to take down tower there? Yeah, we sure are. Think it was a close out the game. Look at that 2,500 gold difference in just bot lane alone. Look at Felyn right now. Holy shit. The champ's so dumb. It's just... Again, is it strong enough that it needs to be nerfed? Maybe. I'll let the devs decide. But, like, when she gets going, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I genuinely don't know what you're supposed to do. Look at all these free attacks she's about to get. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, sorry. Kamaitachi needed to do his thing. Bam. Keep going. Felyn's going to keep going, by the way. Not done. And she's critting. She has a 110% crit chance on turn 1. Because of the fucking pill item. Overdraft pill. 80% crit chance on turn 1. Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Everything crit. She did 6,000 damage. We're on turn 3. I don't know. Seems good. I don't know. Maybe it's the items, right? Maybe just not everyone has overdraft pills, so maybe Felyn isn't always that good. But, like, I don't know. Seems good. Excited state. Excited state. Yeah, that all seems correct. Let's do that. And then, I don't know. I guess we'll, like, quick recall so Justice is at full health, and then we'll close out the game. Oh, sorry. I have a Yummy Biscuit, so I can also get Lady Deadfire at full health. And then we'll close out the game. I don't find her strong, but different metas favor different champs. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of it that, like, I don't know what the meta is versus, you know, that she's just inherently strong. But the thing is, right, like, something like Vampire Fangs. First 3 rounds, you get that 30% damage into healing. Like, that's a lot when she stacks up her energy levels. She's at 13 energy levels right now. Like, maybe in some metas she's not gaining that much shield. Maybe in some metas you don't have the healing item. Maybe you don't have the crit item, so she's not guaranteed to crit on turn 1. Maybe. But there sure are a lot of items that make Felyn very silly right away. And that's game. And that's the series. And with that, we have earned our place in the semifinals. And man, there is a part of me that wants to just keep on going forever. It's going great, I feel like, and riding that momentum. I mean, a 604 Dani that does 63% of damage overall seems very good. Seems strong. Man, if that's not a 10, man, what would she have had to do to get a 10? That's the real question. But, you know, the later this goes on, the more likely it is that I start making some mistakes. And I feel like for the next stream, it'd be good to have the semifinals and finals all together. Look at the... Hold on, can we just take this damage chart in? Let's just take a moment. Dani did 35,804 damage. The next closest was 11,000 from my character. If you add up every other character in this game, my team and theirs, you don't get close to Dani's number. It's not close. That was insane. That was an insane amount of damage. Their bot laner did the least amount of damage in the game. Xiao Gung Lei entirely useless. Just nothing happening there. I don't know, man. That just seems tough. That's tough to overcome. Oh my god. That's so funny. But yeah, I think for the sake of like having something fun to look forward to next stream, I think this is where I'm gonna call it. But I'll do the busy work here at the very least. Let's just get straight to the series so that we can jump on in at the next stream. Yeah, it turns out Peter's very good. Yeah, we've hit the semifinals. I'm feeling good about our life choices is all I'm saying. 3-0 against number 0. Yeah, I hope we didn't leave a psychological shadow on warrior number 0. Dani, yeah, I mean, Dani was a star. I don't know. Perfect performance. Yeah, we'll take it. Shaybomb can still improve. We did all right. Look at that. Over the course of the series, 12, 1, and 20 from Dani. 9.6 average rating across 3 games. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, that Felyn game was insane, but I feel like Niels is also very good. Alemi also does a lot here. You know, Rothi, very strong partner there. Shaybomb certainly did their part. Yeah, insane. Yeah, no, 100%. No, this was absurd. Again, hardest difficulty this game has to offer so far. Dani's performance, yeah. Great, well done. Give Dani a verbal compliment. 10,000 gold during the game for farming XP bonus. We're not going to do anything with that, but, you know, it's good to know we have it. Yeah, we'll get more match experience. That seems good. I don't know that we're going to change much. What do we want to do, actually, with this? Guess, like, kind of feel like we should gotcha something. Hope we get a 1-stop. Yeah, there we go. Address weakness. Great. That's what I wanted to hear. Look at that. Oh, we got a limitation. Maybe actually hitting a breakthrough point. This is... Oh, man. It's so cute because he's never going to get to play. So it doesn't matter. But, oh my goodness, look at this. Arrow of Need lost to Lucky Koi. The 1 seed lost to the 8 seed. We don't have to play Arrow of Knee. One of the few teams we lost to during the regular season. They're gone. I mean, look, Mr. Q is good. They beat GG Club. We expect that. This is the semifinals we were expecting. And we are listed as underdogs. I'm fine with that. Arrow of Knee is gone. Which means if we can beat Mr. Q, I think this is our league to win. I know New Human is technically the best team from a pure stat perspective. I don't care. Man, oh man. They are predicting Mr. Q over us. That's fine. I am glad to be the underdog. If you look here, right, like their jungle is better than ours, but our mid lane and bot lane are better than theirs. We'll look at abilities next time. I'm not going to lose sleep over it now because we're not going to play that right now. We are going to try to get our junglers some love. That's for sure. We'll live stream to just get some more points down the line as well. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's flip a coin. Tails never fails. Which means we're going to be blue side for game 1. And this is where we are going to end our stream here. We are facing Mr. Q in the semifinals of League 1. Next time that we do this stream, I'm excited. I love what we've built here. I love the team we have. I love the versatility that has been brought on display. And I think we are in a very, very good spot. Excuse me, sport. Good spot. Thank you all so much for watching. Whether you are like Insane and you're coming here from the VODs, or whether you are someone who has stood by the streams, twitch.tv/RedShirtKing, of course. Thank you so much for watching. I've loved this game. I've loved this journey here, and I appreciate everyone who stood by to enjoy it with me every step of the way. Of course, if you want to talk to me about this or anything else that I do on the internet, you can find me at chasewassenar.bsky.social or Chase Wassenar on Twitter if you must. Of course, the Rough Drafts Competes is the YouTube channel, which we're putting all the VODs for this on. So you can check out any episode that you missed is on that YouTube channel. We've got a full playlist. And you know what? I'll even link the playlist right now. For those of you who are watching live who would like a playlist to be able to fall back on, I can share that. That is a thing that I am capable of doing. So yeah, let me do that here. Go ahead and check it out. You can catch all the games that you've missed so far. Hopefully, if you're watching it on YouTube, you've already found the playlist. But very much looking forward to continuing this playthrough, getting our way through League One, getting our way to the Premier League, and ideally, depending on the pacing of these streams, getting our way to a World Championship. But of course, in the meantime, you should check out all the other things I do online, including with Lord Ciades here in chat. Walter and I do the Rough Drafts Podcast Network. That is where the RD in RD Sirens Call comes from. You can find us on any platform in which you get your podcasts. We have our podcast Final Cut, that we talk about movies that we've really enjoyed, usually movies that have come out recently. And we have our video game podcast, Steam Cleaners. We talked about Esports Godfather with Dani very recently, so you should definitely check out that episode. But of course, we have a lot more episodes coming down the pipeline, including Walter delving into the Steam Fest demos that have been going on, and me getting into a game that, you know, I don't think I would ever stream on Twitch, but I do think is worth your time and energy, so you'll want to keep tuned for that. Of course, if you want all of it, Rough Drafts Podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts, go check that out. Thank you all again so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye, Internet.